Baby of mine, it's okay to cry. Mama will stay by your side. Let me sing you a song while I hold you tight. I'll be here to kiss you goodnight. Our day was short, somehow time flew by. I know it's hard to say goodbye, but tomorrow will come and we'll start a new day and see what adventures if you wake up in the darkness and cry out from loneliness, I'll sing our song until your tears dry. You're never alone, my little light. Little one, if you stumble and fall, if you begin to lose hope, don't ever forget I'm here if you need me. I'll hold your hand until you let it go.
other self.
My other
Sound
self.
fucking schizophrenic there.
My Discord self.
Your Discord self, yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody.
Yeah.
It's around 6 o'clock our time in the Central Time Zone to the Vomitorium. We're the 100th episode. I can't believe we made it. Last time, the legacy version of the show, the main program only made it to episode 89, and that's when we cut it. Many other random episodes, and if you count the weekday show, we're well past 100, but it's cool that the main program is at 100. So thank you all for showing up. We're going to have a pretty good show today. We're going for the full 3-hour length. It sounds like it's going to be hard to fill if you listen to Marsupial, but trust me, it'll be over before you know it. And we'll even start letting some people in, too. It's going to be like a free-for-all episode. I've got some things to talk about, as always. Some random stuff, maybe some things to poke around, but mostly we'll be shooting the shit, because I have no idea what anybody we're going to let in wants to talk about. So, yeah. Let's, you can move the first person over if you want.
And we have someone here. Yeah, can I?
Yes, absolutely. All I needed to do was introduce the show. Hello, hello. How are you?
Welcome. Hail Semper.
Good evening, boys.
How's it going, man? Welcome. You're our first guest on the 100th episode.
Yeah. Nice.
You should feel special.
I do feel special, sir. Yes.
What's been going on?
Oh, just sitting in my house, doing my thing. You know how it goes.
It's Saturday. For those who don't know, I do watch your channel from time to time. What do you usually talk about?
Oh, geez, dude, I'm ADHD. I do. So yeah, usually. So I'm a former preacher, and I get on and I guess you could say that I do political commentary sometime, like occasionally Trump or Biden or somebody will piss me off with something they do, and I'll scream at them for 3 or 4 hours. Ben Shapiro, that type of stuff. But it started getting really dark after COVID started, and a couple months ago, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to take us all back to the 1950s. And so that's what I do. I go back to the 1950s a lot and watch like old 1950s training videos on good posture and how to interact with other people and just make fun of it, laugh at it, have fun. A lot of old military stuff I like. But I got popped on one of my old military stuff from Periscope Films, and so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not running Periscope anymore.
You got a copyright strike or something?
No, they well, I don't know if it's YouTube wide now or if it's just something you can do to not be an asshole. But they gave me like 7 days to take the video down, and I could have fought it. It was fair use, and I just went, you know what? I have probably 20 different streams with Periscope videos on it. So I was like, I'm not going to poke that bear. I'll just take the thing down. And move it over to my other channels, and so I just took it down. But they were at least cool enough to say, "Hey, you got 7 days to take this down before we strike you."
Yeah,
well, that's good.
So,
do you still do?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, do you still do games with your son?
Occasionally, So I moved. So it got really freaking hot in Texas this year, and my studio doesn't have any AC in it. So I moved everything into my house, which means I moved the setup. Well, my son decided he wanted to get a dog against my better judgment. And so when I moved it in, his mic and my capture card for his PlayStation 4 would have to string across a room. And I'm afraid his dog will rip everything off my studio desk. So I've just been, I was like, dude, until I can figure out a way to string it up to the ceiling and get it, I got to get a longer HDMI cord and probably a USB extender, and then he'll be fine. But I don't let him on video, so he can't like sit right next to me. I have to run it to his TV. So it's just a matter of time. We'll get it back done. But I do that too. Like so I have my kid. I actually live attached to the land that his mom lives on. so he can kind of come back and forth whenever he wants. And so I have him probably at least 50%, if not more than that. So it's like every other day he's over here. And so when he's over here, obviously I can't scream and yell at politicians when he's in the house. So he likes to pull up video games and play them as I comment on, which actually turned out to be a pretty cool thing.
Well, I put a link to your channel in the chat. It's still Semper Bear, right?
Oh, don't say that. Put the hash to one of the videos. God damn. Okay, everybody. So yes, I used to be. I accidentally joined a cult one time, and I submitted that into my YouTube link because I was in a cult, and that's what you do in a cult. You identify as stuff. So yes, that's what it is. It kills me. I'm actually starting up a new co-stream with what I call my internet better, or not better, definitely not better. He's a degenerate, but my internet other half, and so we are starting a channel called the Internet Guys, and we've done a couple of no, that's the other guys.
No. I see some of your videos with the Internet Guys. Isn't that the same?
Oh, I thought you said the other guys. I was like, no, that's a movie. So
that is a movie. It's a weird.
But yeah,
no, the Internet Guys.
So he put together all the online stuff because he likes registering for shit, and I put together all of the scenes and got everything ready in OBS. So we've been doing it on my channel for a while because I'm significantly bigger than that channel because it just started. And so I've been doing it on mine, and there we go. That's the link to the Internet Guys. But we gelled well together when he came on my stream a couple times, and we gelled really well together. And I was like, okay. So I asked him one day, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so yeah, he brings all of the fun links, and I bring, I guess the. I guess I bring the people to the table. I don't know.
So
I don't know what I do.
You are over 1,000 subscribers. Are you monetized yet?
No, I intentionally am not monetized.
Okay.
So I worry about, because right now I get away with a lot of stuff. So I'm very anti-vax. If you watched any of my stuff, you know I have a daughter that is nonverbal autistic after she had 2 seizures after her MMR vaccine, and so I say a lot of things about that, and in regards to me standing up and just basically saying F you to anybody who asks me whether I'm vaccinated or not. Between those things, it if I'm monetized, they'll start paying attention to me, and I don't need that attention. So
yeah, I think I saw, was it a video of yours where you were like, that's my answer from now on. If somebody asks me why this or why that, my answer is just fuck you. Fuck you.
Yes. I mean, I've got a clip on Twitter if you want to run it. I mean, I don't know why my video's not running on Discord. I tested it. It should be running. Let me pull up my Discord and find out why my videos. Oh no, I got my green screen all set up to where it's nice and pretty and actually put on a shirt.
It works for me.
Oh, does it? Because I'm not seeing it on the.
I'm only getting your avatar on my end.
Oh.
Well, then it's his end that's all screwed up.
Probably.
I see what it is. So, but I do have a link. I cut some stuff into Twitter if you want to play one of the. In fact, that clip I put on Twitter. Hold on, let me find it. Profile. Fill the dead air while I'm finding it. Oh, I pinned it. Look at that.
Well, I don't like the monetization system either. They also take most of the money that should be going to you anyway, which is why we don't deal with shit like that. We use direct donations, and if you'd like to donate to the show, in the links below, you can go to streamlabs.com/vomitoriumlive, which helps support us and pays for our monthly hosting fees.
Nice. What kind of hosting fees do you have?
Well, since this is primarily a podcast, is where most of the viewership comes from, I've been using SoundCloud for hosting since 2015. And I like the
wow.
premium
Look at
service.
you.
It's great. So that's a lot of our hosting fees. Plus, we run RPGs here, and I have to use the premium service at Roll20 to handle the massive amount of files that we have. So, you know, all of that just kind of goes together.
I gotcha. So yeah, I just decided to start doing this because like I stayed off the internet for a while because I you know have a job and such and didn't want that to affect future employment if I ever got doxxed or somebody, you know, decided to look up my name or something like that and it was attached to it. I didn't want to run the risk of that. And then you know, as I got older, I was like, wait a minute, I think I can walk this line. And now we're at a situation where I may just lose my job because I won't put poison in my body. So
Nice. Well, I was sharing your video. People can go watch that if they want. The link is you put the link in the chat right there.
yeah, I dropped it in the chat.
Cool.
So it's just kind of one of those things where I look at it and I go, okay, look, I scour the internet for people to watch. And, you know, I was lucky enough to run into Royce and kind of become friends with him and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of content while I'm doing data analysis that I can listen to, but I'm always looking for new people and stuff like that. And it's like a wasteland out on the internet, man. Like I just watch people over and over and over, and I'm just person after person after person. I'm like, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible. You know, and people with millions of subs, and you're like, this is awful. Like,
How
who
the fuck
watches
did you even
this
get
stuff?
this many viewers?
Yeah, well, I mean, we find out later that you have to, you know, be terrible to get any type of traction online.
Yeah.
But you know, every once in a while, I'll find somebody like Adonis Paul or something like that where I go, okay, this person actually has talent. But you know, if you look at most of YouTube, it's just H3H3 and that type of stuff, and it's like, ugh, I just don't understand how people watch it. And then if you go over to Twitch, it's even worse. It's just boobs.
Well, the problem is, like, some of these people,
Well, you got it.
like say H3, his older content was kind of mid at best, but it wasn't horrible at first. But a lot of these people, you get your fan base through interaction and networking, right? Like, he used to be on a bunch of other stuff, like he'd be on the Filthy Frank TV and stuff like that. So a lot of it is kind of like nepotism, where the people will grow each other's audiences. And you'll have, like, maybe one talented person who starts a chain of, like, diminishing talent, and then all of a sudden there's this guy who's got nothing that has, like, 1 million subscribers for no reason.
Well, I call them lanes because
Yeah.
it took me a while, but once I got into it, I figured it out. So I call it lane. And you've got your conservative lane, you've got your libertarian lane, you've got your, I mean, I think that there's a liberal lane. I'm not sure because all of their shows are just vomit inducing. But I guess with that guy that messes with Steven Crowder all the time, like you do have kind of a liberal lane. And then you've got your offshoots of that. So you've got the Owen Benjamin lane. And then you've got Gamergate lane. Gamergate lane's a big one. What I've noticed is that it's you have to be at the right place at the right time to screw with the right person. And that's just not who I am. So I've just kind of relegated myself to, I'm just going to sit in my little corner of the internet with my people that, you know, like to come in every single time, my you know, 30 to 50 concurrent viewers that I have, and I'm just going to hang out. And you know, I decided to start focusing on turning to, you know, people that I enjoy hanging out with that are my level or specifically lower, because it really sucks to be somebody who kind of at that mid range of the lower set of the lane.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like the bigger people, they just do their thing and kind of ignore you know? And
Yeah.
they're not against you. They're just doing their thing. And what I've found with streamers is a lot of people are just kind of out for themselves. And so I was like, you know what? You know, if I could show up on especially Saturday nights, if I could show up on Saturday nights and go on other people's streams and just kind of try to help their interactions and stuff like that out and maybe bring some to the table, then I'd rather be that than somebody who's trying to clout chase up the lane. Because you say one thing wrong, you have one opinion, you have one friend, that you have one person in the chat that doesn't like somebody up that lane, and you either have to get rid of them or they just won't promote you.
Yeah. And that's
and that's
really
not me.
Fucked up. Yeah.
No, it is. It is. And sometimes you'll run into them, and sometimes, like, I have a guy in my chat that that he doesn't get along well with streamers. But for some reason he gets along well with me, and he always has. And so he generates an incredible amount of content for me. Like he made my intro, my normal intro, that 13 cases intro that I have. He made it, but he's fine with me, but he messes with other streamers. And so I've taken a lot of hits, in regard to him being a mod on my channel. And but how am I supposed to, and this is my problem with the lane, how am I supposed to look at someone who has never done anything wrong to me, just because they did something wrong to you or got in a fight with you? I'm not going to tell that person, hey, I want to raise my clout, so I'm sorry, dude, I got to ban you from the channel, even though you've never done anything to me. And I just can't bring myself to do that. I can't bring myself to be somebody who shuts their mouth, and look, we agree with you on all your woke stuff. The stream you did the other day where you went through the biotech stuff and showing everybody what they actually already have. By the way, if you look at biotech and the nanotech stuff, not the conspiracy stuff, but the actual symposiums where they're bragging about shit that they can do. You want to talk about blackpilling yourself? It's pretty crazy. And and so people can be fine with that, and they go, but we like to push that we're not anti-vax, we're just pro-choice, and it's really a problem when you say that there's vaccinations that are hurting people that have been out for a long time. We don't want you to say, well, I'm never going to shut my mouth about that. And just that one little itty bitty thing will get me kicked out of an entire lane.
Yeah.
Like go into that Ben Shapiro conservative lane and decide to start talking about how terrible student loans are and see what happens to you.
Yeah. Hey, to a degree we can relate. There's actually a member in, I guess you call the Vomitorium community in our Discord, that came from a prior community that Marsupial and I were in. I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to embarrass people, but he kind of pissed some other people off from our old community. But he hasn't done anything here. Very, very good behavior here. And just from the fact that it's like, well, we're not banning him or anything because he hasn't done anything wrong here, has caused a couple people to voluntarily leave on their own.
Yeah. Well, and I've had that recently. Just recently, I've had a bunch of people who were good with me yesterday, and now they're not. And it's for me, it's like if that's what you do and that's who you are, man. It's so easy to misconstrue what somebody says or means when it comes to text speech or discords or stuff like that. And it's like I've watched so many people make so many misdeterminations of who someone is or what they're doing, and then somebody gets upset, and I call it increasing levels of warfare. So somebody flicks you in the forehead, and you turn around and kick them in the shin, and then they turn around and punch you in the face, and then you turn around and kick them in the nuts, and then they turn around and stab you with the knife. And then you turn around and shoot them in the head, and then they turn around and launch a drone strike on you, and then you turn around and you launch a drone strike on them and their family, and then they turn around and drop a nuke on you and your job and your family and everything. Over what? Because somebody decided to tell you were stupid?
Yeah.
And that's how that shit starts. So if there's people who are willing to walk away because they don't like somebody I like, then so be it. Go. Take off.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to promote someone because you don't like people that like them, then don't promote me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because here's what I can do. I can go start another channel behind an avatar puppet with a completely different voice, and you'll think everything I say is brilliant. And you'll be like, oh, have you seen this new person? Wow, they're amazing. And if you don't ever know it's me, then you'll like my show. But because it's me and I'm associated with someone you don't like, you decide that, you want to start shit posting or trolling somebody's channel, because it's just never made sense to me.
And honestly, I don't have time to hold grudges. I actually had this conversation just earlier this week with this comic book creator. I'll say his name, John Delarose. I happened to see that he was promoting a new comic book on Indiegogo, and I retweeted it. And he was like, "Oh man, thank you for retweeting that." I don't think he said something like, "I'm glad we're talking again." And I was like, "Were we? Did we? Oh yeah, I guess we did have a disagreement a year ago. I don't remember honestly what it was about, but I think we mutually blocked each other on Twitter, and we weren't talking, and then we unblocked each other eventually. I was like, I don't even remember why, but I was like, okay, well, you're cool with me now. I don't care. I mean,
this is weird,
I don't think he's ever done anything to me. So
yeah, it's like I like Delarose.
There we go. Hey, I turned my video on. Look at that. Hey.
Yeah, I like Delarose too. I disagree with him on probably most things in general that I've ever interacted with, but he's a very nice guy. I've never had a negative interaction with the dude. It's always been positive. So it's like, yeah, you're cool with me.
I had the same. So I interact with a lot of comic book creators. I had the same thing happen with Rags Comics, the guy who does the Rags Zombie comics. We got into some argument literally 2 years ago. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was something about Antarctic Press or something. I don't remember. And eventually, after mutually blocking each other for a few months, I unblocked him. He unblocked me, and I was like, I don't even remember what we were arguing about. Who the fuck has time to do that? I've got a job.
Oh, he finally unblocked me.
Yeah,
I was on a block.
And he seems cool.
I support your comic. I've never said a bad thing to you. Why was I?
Yeah, I bought his comics. I bought his comics before. It's like, I don't remember what we were arguing about, but I'm glad we can put it behind us, whatever it was. These people who hold these grudges for years on end, it's like, God damn, get a life.
I was in an internet fight one time that I didn't even know I was in. And this guy comes to me and he sends me a DM and he goes, "What's your fucking problem, dude?" And I went, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" And he's like, you like a lot of other people's stuff, and some of my stuff you'll like, but you hardly ever like my stuff on Twitter. And I'm like, what? Huh?
You probably don't even see it.
No. And I'm like, dude, I mean, at the time, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. At the time, I was 40 years old. I'm like, dude, I'm a 40-year-old dude. It's liking things is a foreign concept to me. I have to push the like button on every. And so now I've gotten used to it over the last few years, and now it's I make sure I hit like on stuff I reply to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I first started this out, I would regularly forget to hit the like button on stuff, and they're like, you're a larger creator, and you really should. And I'm like, dude, I had no idea. I had no idea that anyone even cared about me liking things.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at people who look at what other people like, look at who you're following or who's following them, or you don't get a notification when someone unfollows you. So when somebody says, "Oh, why did you unfollow me?" or whatever, I'm like, okay, so you had to actually be looking at that every day.
Yeah, or you have one of those services
that, and I probably unfollowed you because you were spamming my news feed.
Yeah, because there are services that will let you know that if you like connect a third-party service, which means you have to be one of those obsessive people that has a third-party service keeping track of people who unfollow you. I had friends who used to do that. It was like the weirdest thing. People were trying to grow their channels, and once a day you would see a tweet at like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. They'll set it to when they think nobody's paying attention. And it'd be like, this many people followed me today, and this many people unfollowed me today, thanks to this service. I'm like, why do you care? Well, why do you really give a shit?
That's probably an auto-generated thing.
Yeah.
That
it is. The service does it itself, but it's like, why do you even care to know?
Like the other day, the one of the writers for Spider-Man, Dan Slott at Marvel Comics,
Slott.
He got into some argument with this guy because he went and looked at who he was following. And then he went and shamed the guy and said, why are you following this person and that person and all this stuff? And publicly tried to shame him or whatever. And it's like, why do you care who other people... Maybe I'm following him because I think he's an asshole and I want to see what stupid things he has to say so I can make fun of him. You know, just because I'm following him doesn't mean I agree with everything they say.
Well, I mean, like, flip it on the other side. How many journalists were following Donald Trump back when he was still on Twitter just to be able to look at everything he was saying? It's like, you could just go in the opposite direction.
Part of their job.
It's like, you do it. Why can't somebody else do it in the other direction? Like,
and that's when we start getting into how, I'm telling you, it's coming, guys. That's how you get into the realm of everything is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because they can follow people they don't like, and they can follow the evil Nazi white supremacists. But if it really comes down to the fact that when they need something to paint you in a bad light, they will take something, whether they do it or not, they'll take it and they'll turn around and they'll put it out there and they'll use it to turn other people who don't understand what that life is, don't understand what it is to be a streamer, don't understand what it is to grow a channel, and they'll take that out and they'll put it and they'll be like, look at this evil, horrible person who liked this tweet. And it's like, okay, I thought it was fucking funny. How about that? You guys are assholes. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And these are the same people, like when you look at, senators and stuff like that, and these are the same people that they go out, they don't even have to go out on lunch. There was some January 6th stuff where a guy basically stole a bottle of scotch from one of the offices. Well, I don't know about you guys and your job, but what the fuck are you doing with a bottle of scotch at your place of employment? I would get fired if I was drinking scotch at my job. I can't even go on lunch,
lawyers.
and have a beer without them, getting all pissy if I ever did that, and these people are drunks and drug addicts just like everybody else is. But what they'll do is they'll stand up and they'll take pictures that they have and throw it out there to discredit you, because none of it's real. None of it. It's all who you know, it's all who you're attached to, and it's all who thinks they can use you to progress their agenda. And so it's like, fuck it, I'll just stay at 1,000 subs. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll go up person by person by person. That's fine.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with, Hard Bastard is the Hard News Network every day, or almost every day. You may not know.
No.
He's got, I don't know how many he's sitting on, but on Twitch, he easily has enough to be an affiliate and get donations and stuff. He has 341 followers, and you only have to have like 50 to be an affiliate. And he won't do it because he's just convinced, and he's probably right, that he'd probably get yeeted right off the platform if he monetized. And he was monetized on YouTube, actually, and they removed his monetization.
Yeah, is Twitch a big eater? I don't know. I mean,
Twitch
I have
is
a
actually
Twitch channel.
the worst when it comes to terms of service right now of all the networks.
Yeah, I have a Twitch channel, but I think I only have like maybe 2 to 3 concurrent viewers every single time I go live.
Yeah.
So my Twitch platform is just kind of a backup.
Yeah, HB has 37,000 subs on YouTube, And he was monetized for like a couple of years. And for no explanation, for no reason at all, they just turned off his monetization.
Yeah, it's probably reporting.
Yeah. And he that's what he does for a job. I mean, that's his entire income. But he has a Subscribe Star. I think it's Subscribe Star now, so he's doing fine. But
that's how it works for Royce and Merce. Like ROTC is not monetized. Daywave is monetized. Nightwave wasn't monetized, but is now remonetized. You know, and they're monetized. Their individual shows are monetized on YouTube, but neither of them can have Streamlabs because they got demonetized on Streamlabs, even though they're monetized on YouTube. So it's like, it just depends on who's reporting who to what. And then I don't think the companies want to deal with it. I think they're similar to, you know, a regular run of the mill company where if somebody complains or if enough people complain, they just go, you know what, screw it. Just get rid of that guy. I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to deal with this. Just get rid of the person that people are unhappy with and be done with it. Yeah. You know, which is really shitty because then you can have a handful of trolls that can do some real damage to a channel.
Glacier Mountain Comics wants to know where he knows your voice from. I don't know how you can answer that.
I have no idea. I didn't.
Where are you from? In the U.S.? You said you're in Texas, or
yeah, I was born and raised in Dallas area.
Yeah, I'm in that area.
Yeah, Metal's in there. Metal's near you.
So I moved out to the sticks though, so now I'm like 2 hours outside of Dallas. So I've got I've got about 10 acres out here, and it's surrounded by trees, and so
nice.
I'm like, yeah, this is fantastic. And I work from home, so it's like I've realized my dream of never seeing another human being that isn't my kids or my kid's mom, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, especially like the sticks in this area is pretty cheap to live too, compared to like other states and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bought the 4 acres that I own of the 10 acres that the two of us own. The 4 acres I bought was like, I paid 30 grand for, you know, so, and you hear a lot of people that go, you know, I do want to get out of the city because there's a lot of crap happening in the city. I went to Dallas a couple weeks ago and to see my buddy. I did a live stream on him. One of my friends is he's a former pro skater, and he just had a kidney transplant. So I went out to his house. His family's like my second family. And so I went out there to see him, and I told him while we were driving around, I was like, dude, I've seen more cars in the last hour than I see in a week where I live. Yeah. Like the only time I ever see cars is when I go to Walmart or Lowe's, you know? And you get used to that life, and you get used to it being quiet, and it's just amazing. Like I could walk outside my door right now and just unload my Walther and nobody cares, you know? And it's you know, I didn't think I would be that guy, like, because I grew up in the city, and I didn't think I would enjoy it, but man, I got out here, and it's like I can do whatever I want. I could build whatever I want. I could dig wherever I want. I could pee wherever I want. You know, if I walked outside naked, nobody could see me. You know, like it's not even, oh, somebody's going to peek over a fence. No, you got to go through almost an acre and a half of trees in any direction to get to my house. So, but everybody looks at it and they think it's you know, it's so expensive to do this stuff, and it's not. In fact,
just dirt cheap.
my land is cheaper than most people pay for their cars. You know, and I'm not too concerned about losing my job over this, you know, shot, because, you know, I tell everybody I'm playing on easy mode, or no, not easy mode. That's female Twitch streamers is on easy mode. I tell people I'm playing on medium mode, you know, because if everything goes away, I own my land. Like, you can't take my house. You can't take the roof that's over my head.
You might be on easy mode, because, you know, now they're adding like this game journalist mode into like every single game that's even easier than easy mode. That's kind of like the titty streamer mode right there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on Twitch, look, I'm serious, man. If you're on Twitch and you're an attractive female and you only make $1,000 a month, like, that's embarrassing. Like that's
Yeah.
really, really embarrassing. You should not. Like I was watching what did it? The girl that spanked her kid on stream, the one that was spanked her kid in the leather nurse outfit.
I do.
What? I missed that one.
And it's very recent. I ran it on my
Lindy or something.
I ran it like 2 streams ago. But there's this girl. I mean, obviously, she didn't do it on camera. But there's this girl that her kid wakes up in the middle of it and starts, can I do this? And she's just getting so annoyed. And then she goes out and you can hear the kid, ow, ow, in the background. And she's going, I told you to blah, blah, blah. And I looked at her like monthly goal and I looked at, how much she had. And I'm like, oh my God, like she's only made $1,000 in a month. And she wasn't unattractive. I mean, like when she was looking straight forward at you, she was attractive. But then she turned her head to the side. It was like, no, turn your head back. And then
most people have their one good angle.
Well, and then there was this other girl, the one that farts on her little punchy bag doll. Have you seen that girl?
No.
No.
So she's this girl that just beats the shit out of this training dummy. And she's always farting on him. Like that's her thing. Is she knocks it down, she beats it up, and then she squats on it like she's like she's teabagging somebody on Call of Duty. And then she just farts. And look, I don't expect you guys to know this girl. I didn't know her until my degenerate co-host started bringing videos to the table. So I get it, but
like, how do you find these?
But that girl was not attractive front to back. But when she turned to the side, it was like, damn. Like we have this video on my channel where she had this one video where she just had camel toe, like you couldn't avoid it, and it just happened to line up with our green screens. So we were all like, and then I was honk, and then I would stand up and put my head in the place of the dummy, and she was punching me, and it's like a minute clip on our channel. It was hilarious. But she was gorgeous from the side, but not pretty from the front. And I was like, God, if you could take those 2 women and combine them in 360, they would be attractive.
I don't know. It depends. If you got all their good aspects, sometimes you combine things and all you get is the bad. You might get like the bad angle from both sides.
No, I just want it to be like some trippy Twilight Zone where when I'm looking at you straight forward, you're the spanking streamer girl. Yeah. But when you turn to the side, you're literally the farting dummy beater.
It's like one of those holographic cards when you turn.
Yeah, just one. And it's like, that's 2 different women. I'm like, no, that's my girl.
Yeah.
My girl, right? But we were sitting and talking, but she only made like $1,000. And I'm like, And I told him on stream, I said, I gotta be honest with you, dude. If I was an attractive girl and I only made $1,000, I'd feel like a failure. Because you're playing on easy mode and you're losing.
Well, maybe she's just coming up. Maybe she only just started recently. I don't know. But we've had this discussion about men and women on Twitch and how it's amazing. The bell curve follows just like real life. So most of the women that I've noticed on Twitch are like in the middle of the curve, right? They tend to get, pull between 500 and maybe 1,500 viewers at a time. And then the men are either pulling like 1 to 10 or maybe 20 or like 50,000. Like there's the men are on the very low end of the spectrum and the very high end, but all the women are in the middle.
Uh-oh. The degenerate just showed up in the chat.
Oh, that's the interesting stuff. Yeah. But yeah,
I was watching a girl who, based on her subs, looked like she was making about $10,000 a month. Which is what you should be making if you have big titties and you're in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
There's like Asmongold and even like, Pro Jared and some of these other guys. I've got to be making 50 to 100,000 a month. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then there's most of the guys that make zero.
But the women don't really have to try to be in the middle to get the amount of money that they do. While the men, it's like that's what I'm saying. Most talent in some way.
Most women sort of congregate in the middle, and men are either at the very low end or very, very high end.
Let's talk about Pro Jared for a second.
I didn't want to get into that.
So homemade ramen. You know a marsupial, my teenager, that comes on my stream and will play games with me and stuff like that. When all that shit with Pro Jared went down, he is like, "Oh my God, Dad, Pro Jared's blah 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 blah," and I'm like, and I did what I normally do with Generation Z people, and I went, "Who?" He goes, "Pro Jared," and I'm like, "Who?" And so of course now you've said his name and you've said he's in something, and so now you've tripped off my analytic brain. And
I only
so
mentioned him because he's live. I'm subbed to him and he's live.
Now I have to go research it and figure out who this person is, and I got to look. I know he was a part of Game Grumps, and I know I broke my son's heart when I told him that Game Grumps, they're sold out, and he absolutely was like, "There's no way." And I said, "Son, you do not get to millions of subs without selling your soul. It's impossible. You cannot break 1 million without selling out to the system." He's like, no, I'm telling you. And then, of course, when COVID hit, Game Grumps started, doing the whole advertising, all that stuff while they're playing it. Yeah. He comes with his head down one day and he goes, "I think Game Grumps sold out." And I was like, "Dude, they've always been sold out. What are you talking about?"
Well, okay, so I know Pro Jared. I've interacted with him several times in person because he was a Dallas area guy.
Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
because I've watched
he wasn't
his stuff,
actually
and
part
he's
of
boring
Game
as
Grumps.
shit.
He's just been on it many times. He used to be part of ScrewAttack.com. That's where he got all of his things from.
Yeah, he was in the right. He had to have been in the right place at the right time, backed by the right people. Because I'm sorry, he's not that compelling. Yeah. He's not.
Well, he was better when he was doing news stuff for ScrewAttack because Hard News was pretty good. But then he just doesn't do what he's good at when he does his own stuff because he'd rather just do like video game reviews and things like that. Because he was almost like a weekend update type guy.
Yeah. It's whatever it did that got him his subs, like he ain't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And at least unless he's changed something since the Sailor Moon outfit. If he's changed something after that, and
honestly,
and
he's gotten back to normal, I think. I mean, from what I've seen, he's just trying to do his thing and just be normal, which is really what he needed to do.
Which I mean, hey, more on you. I mean, look, and that thing exploded because I'll defend people on certain areas and then tell them that I think they suck at what they do. At the same thing. He's not a compelling speaker. He's not.
No, he's not.
And so the thing is that it cracks me up. Now, don't get me wrong. You're a dirtbag if you cheat on your wife. I don't give a shit what your reason is. If you don't like your wife, then leave your wife. But if you cheat on your wife, you're a dirtbag. But let's not turn around and say that there isn't 9 gazillion people in positions of power that are doing what he was accused of doing over and over and over. It happens all the time. If you dig enough into people with millions of subs, you're going to find the same stuff every single time. Because the only reason that, in general, that men want power is because it gives you the same thing that the women with boobs on Twitch get. That is easy mode for guys. And so once you get there, if you have millions of subs and you've got all these hot chicks that want to be promoted by somebody with millions of subs and they're willing to do anything, and you're a single guy, Pro Jared, then I don't see the problem with it. It's the dating thing. It's women's currency in dating is youth and attractiveness, and men's currency in dating is money. Like that's the dating currency. And so what equals money on YouTube? Subs.
My problem with the whole situation was always the hypocrisy of it, right? Because I know both of the people involved. I've met Jared and Heidi several times, and my problem was that everybody was like always the way it is on the internet. They jump to one side. It's like whoever comes out first and starts dumping things is like, both of these people are in the wrong. Get over it. It's none of your business anyway.
So Glacier Mortis says, has Simper ever went viral for rage quitting videos or ever been a part of a fandom menace? Sorry, still trying to figure out where I recognize his voice from. No, in fact, I don't do much gaming stuff. Yeah, well, now here's the thing, Glacier. There are many times when somebody attacks guns or tries to force me to do something to my kids or decides to push certain things that I won't say the word on your stream, but like make me put chemicals into my kids and they start making laws on it. I will scream at them for 4 hours until I can't speak anymore. If you go and watch my Biden declares war, Biden's declaration of war, you're going to see me at my finest. And honestly, that's why people show up to my streams. They love to. I've got one guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I've got one guy in my chat who he always manages to ask the right question at the right time to completely send me into a spiral. Like there's been some 50 streams where I start the video, halfway through the video, he asks me a question, and then I start screaming about it for an hour and a half. So there may be clips floating around of me screaming and yelling, and that's where you heard it from. I'm not sure. But that's how I used to preach too. That's why the teenagers and the college students love for me to preach. I mean, I didn't use the F word like I do now, but
Interest of Stuff wants to know if you think Wrangel Star cheats. I don't know who that is.
Okay, so Wrangler Star is I don't know. I'm not going to make a determination of whether somebody does or doesn't cheat until it's out there. But Wrangler Star is a guy who has, I think he's approaching 2 million, 1.5 million, but he's a homesteader that's kind of clickbaity, I liked him for a while, and then it just kind of started getting old. But he's got this stream where he's like, I'm gonna test the cheapest survival tool on Amazon, and then he goes and he tests, and he's got and I know this is what there's so many. Look, this is why I suck at marketing myself. There's so many successful ways of marketing yourself, and I watch other people do it, and I think it's very douchey, and I just can't bring myself to. So the stupid thumbnails with me going, at some picture, I'm not doing it. I'm too old for that shit. I'm an old ex-Marine. I can't do that shit. And, everybody's like, oh, well, people don't like green screens. They like to have a cool set behind it with a TV. And I'm like, yeah, but then I feel like Crowder and I'm not going to do that. I just can't. I can't do it. So I'll just sit in my little cubby hole.
Yeah.
I like my cubby hole, damn it.
I know it is. I help other people market when they ask for advice. I'm really good at giving them advice for marketing. I refuse to do most of the stuff that I tell other people to do, though. It's been like that for years. I probably could be way bigger because I restarted, but I've been doing stuff on YouTube since 2011. And I've just been doing things casually, doing what I do, trying to be authentic and straightforward about it. But if I used a lot of the tips and tricks that I've given people over the years and stuff, I have a friend that I helped get well over 1,000 within his first year of doing things when it came to subscribers. And I'm just no, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Yeah, it's, it's funny because, you get so used to hearing 200,000, 50,000, 500,000, 1 million, And so when somebody hears that I'm a streamer, because I don't really advertise it in my daily life, but when somebody hears that I'm a streamer, they're like, "Oh, how many subs do you have?" And I'm like, "Yeah, about 1,100." And they're like, "Oh," and it's like, dude, I dare you go try to get 1,100 subs as a streamer.
Yeah.
You can if you're funny and you're good at editing videos, you could edit 10-minute clips and get several thousand people. But I know people, I've got friends online that have 10, 20,000 subs, and then they go on a live stream and they have half the viewers that I do, because nobody wants to watch a 2-hour live stream. Everybody wants to see your quirky little 10-minute video.
So good luck being entertaining for 2 hours straight without any abs.
and so I don't know if it's, I think there's a grouping, there's an area for it. I think somebody who's been successful recently doing it is I'm gonna blank on his name right here. Oh my God, I'm gonna forget his name. I had him on my stream. He the one that did the racist woke video, the one where he was Ryan Long.
Yeah.
Ryan Long did a good job of converting his audience over to live streaming. So he'll do his one video a week, and then he'll do a live stream like 2 or 3 times a week, and he gets a decent amount of hits, but nowhere near the amount of hits that he gets in regards to his videos. But I had him on for 2 hours a while back, and that stream didn't even break 300.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to get people over to live stream, depending on like what you're doing. Like we're long form. We record everything live for this podcast right here. But most of the viewership, like when I look at the numbers, it is the audio version, because it's like, well, they want to listen to a long format like show, but they want to do it on their time, not when we're live, right? So it's like, oh, I'm working now, it's time to listen to the thing. So like that works for that general audience. It's so hard to build like a second audience of like, oh, here's the people who want to watch it live because they're interested in the live format, as opposed to the people who just want to listen to it while they're working on shit or stuck in traffic or something.
Yeah, see, mine's the exact opposite. Mine is the vast majority of people will watch me live, and then I'll probably get another 50 to 100 views after that offline. But the vast majority of people who watch me, they watch live. And I don't know, dude, I've tried hashtags. I've tried all kinds of, I think hashtags are stupid. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
They are pretty stupid.
And I put 2 hashtags in my Twitter thing so people could subscribe to those hashtags, because it's hit or miss whether YouTube actually sends out my notifications. And I can tell in my hold queue. So I'll have my hold queue running and I'll look down and I can tell when YouTube doesn't send my. And so I put that on there, but I go and type my hashtags in and they never show up. I always have to type from scratch. So nobody's subbing to them, and it's just like, okay. So I figured there's going to be a day where somebody, there's going to be somebody who is going to like get pissed off at something I said or do something stupid and I cover it. And then that person's going to send their minions over. And then those minions are going to find out like, wow, this guy actually has a good show. And then if I ever blow up, that'll be the way I blow up. Is somebody getting pissed off that I covered something that they did, sending their freaks of nature over, and then turning their freaks of nature.
Yeah.
That's how it'll happen. Watch. And I bet it'll be Jeremy's fault too. That's my theory. Because I don't fight with people. Like if you watch my Twitter, I don't fight with people. I've had a couple of people who tried to fight with me over the shot in the arm and all that stuff, and I just go, dude, I'm fine if you want to do it. I don't care. Like, and they're like, yeah, that's right. You don't want to fight me because I would have stomped you into the ground. And I'm like, dude, nothing you've said has bothered me or upset me. Like, why would I fight with you? And that's the exchanges that I have with people on Twitter. Most of my Twitter stuff is me just retweeting stuff and laughing at it with my friends, which is what my stream is too.
Yeah, well, I think that's my problem too. Like Twitter, at least for most of its life, it's bleeding users left and right. It used to be the marketing machine, but that's where you would go to market. But like there was always a caveat to it, and this is why like I've never grown on Twitter, is because I only use it for marketing, because I fucking hate Twitter. And it's like the only way to actually grow is you have to interact with people, so those people see your interactions, and then they'll see your marketing posts and stuff like that because they follow you. And the best way to interact is to get in fights with people, and I just really don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it is, and this is the way I guess it's traditionally been, is Facebook is your advertising wing, Twitter's your communication wing, and YouTube is your television wing.
Yeah.
And it pretty much works like that. But see, I don't expect you to get Twitter because you're not followed like I am by people like, you're not good Twitter friends with Ryan Long and Scott Baio like I am. So, I wouldn't expect you to get it. I'm obnoxious like that when people when people that I know like follow me like, oh, well, look at this. I'm now best friends with Scott Baio. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, he liked a couple of my posts, made a comment, and subbed me. That's the interaction. But listen, I'm followed by him. We're good Twitter friends now, and that's how that works.
Yeah, I've had brief conversations with various people like that.
Yeah,
Dean Cain comes to mind, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't remember and doesn't know I exist.
No, and I had Travis Tritt like something and comment, and I'm a singer, and Travis Tritt is one of my freaking heroes in regards to songs and stuff like that. And he commented, and I made a big deal out of it on my Twitter. I was like, hey, look at this. Oh my God. But it was more of a respectful thing. It wasn't really a making fun. It was like, holy crap. Like that day that somebody that you literally close your stuff out with, and he starts talking to you. It's like, holy shit. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's probably where you heard about me. Glacier is my huge, is my huge following of Scott Baio and Ryan Long on YouTube or on Facebook. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, interests us says Semper and Scott make noodle necklaces for each other.
Okay.
I saw them kiss one time.
He's a degenerate. We come up with the name. Let me tell you how this bastard sandbags people, okay? So we start talking about names for our show, right? And we're going through it, and I say, you know what? I wanted something simple. I wanted something that is just, it's just normal. It's not tied to any specific thing. It's just something. And we came up with Internet Guys, and I'm like, okay, so that's not going, like, we're not going to be able to get Internet Guys on YouTube. Shocker, we got Internet Guys on YouTube. And he goes, no, that's the name. And we went through all this stuff, and then I'm like, okay, that's awesome. And then we start talking about it like online, and we tell everybody what the name is. He goes, we're the Internet Gays. Come on, dude. Like, we talked about this. Like, we talked about naming the stream and all of this stuff. And not one time did you say you were going to, because he did mention it. He goes, people are going to call us the Internet Gays. And I said, yeah, if they, but we'll wait until some spurg decides to say it. And then he gets, the very first thing he said is, hey, it's the Internet Gays. And now it's like all people talk, like there's, the community's making videos of us, like with songs about being gay. And I'm like, this is your fault. Like you could have let them figure it out on their own. And he was like, well, they would have figured it. And I'm like, I know, but you could have given us at least a stream before somebody started calling us gay. That would be awesome.
That sounds like some shit I would have pulled.
Yeah, he's a sandbagging, degenerate piece of crap, my co-host. I don't even know why I'm involved with him, to be honest.
Oh, he's your co-host. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
He said it earlier.
Yes.
Now I understand the animosity.
Yeah, somehow I have made a degenerate my internet other half. So.
That's okay. My co-host is a degenerate simp, so we all have to do it.
I'll tell you what, that's getting old. People changing my E to I. It's like, okay, hey, you know what? That was super funny the first time, and probably even the 10th time. But now at the 5,000th time somebody's done that, thinking they're special, like it's getting old. Figure something else out to make fun of it. Come on. So, Oh, and by the way, just being like, treating somebody like shit because they're more attractive than you. Like, it's a shitty thing to do, and telling you're being an asshole just because you think this person makes their money off of being attractive, that doesn't make me a simp. Like, yeah. I'm telling you, hey, this person hasn't done anything to you. Why are you fucking with this person? What? Because she's attractive and you'd never be with her? Oh, look at you white knighting, you simp. I'm like, okay, just because she has a vagina doesn't mean I'm simp. But now you can simp for guys. Like, that's like a new thing. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, he cheated on his wife," and you're like, "Dude, you don't know that he cheated on his wife." Okay, simp. I'm sorry. Wanting empirical data before you accuse somebody of cheating on their wife is simping. Like, okay,
The
I guess
simp's
I'm a
kind of
simp then.
become like a replacement for like kiss ass or brown noser now, even though that's not what the word like
Yeah.
originally meant.
Yeah, and being nice to people
Yeah.
has been taken over by brown noser.
Yeah.
So what? Because I'm friends with somebody who has a bigger show than me, that makes me a brown noser because I'm like, actually, I know the dude and he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, simp. Oh, okay, just suck up to him. Like you go in as a mod on their channel and you post their links or say, hey, don't forget to like the stream. Oh, okay, look at you sucking up. And it's like, dude, I'm going to go to your channel and I'm going to check out your stuff and we're going to see what you bring to the table. Oh, wait, you don't have one. You're just some guy who's coming in and posting shit in a chat. Oh, okay, I see. Here's the thing. Go out and make your channel and you put the content out. And guess what? If I like it, I'll support it. But you don't have the balls or the means to do it. So all you have is coming out here. Because at least the trolls that make fucked up videos about you, at least those people have talent that they can edit stuff together and make you say shit that you never said. Or have the brains to go, oh my God, did you hear what he just said? If you take that out of context, it sounds like he fucked a horse. And I respect that. You know?
We got John Dillard in here. Oh, man,
oh shit.
He's
coming in. He's like in the FBI van. Look at this.
I know. I was gonna say he's like in the control center.
This is my grow room.
Right. Are you sure that's not your CSI van? Are you about to go and test some droplets of blood?
Illegal cocaine.
Is that your usual?
Versus legal cocaine? Where do you get legal cocaine?
From the
Is
doctor.
that your usual place? Did you move your camera?
Well, yeah, I was doing some stuff, so I moved my camera over to the side instead of in front of my face. You see this wooden thing right here? This is what I usually normally hang the camera on.
Yeah, you're kind of going in and out. How's your internet?
It says it's fantastic. I don't know.
Yeah, your video's fine. I mean, your
the audio's fine. It's the video that's clipping.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because I was gonna turn off my air conditioner if it was making too much noise, but
no, the room looks like you're about to call in a drone strike on someone.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. It's
God, I wish. No, I'm getting these things together for my buddy Rick Piper. When I told you I was gonna send him his Canadian coins.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, cool.
So I had to pull. I finally found it. This is the problem, right? I found my old airtights. It was in storage. Look at this shit, dude. Like the dust on this thing.
Is that what Canadian Tire money is?
Canadian Tire.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody, one of the guys who
Canadian
makes music
Tire.
for us, he told us he wanted me to pay him in Canadian Tire money, and I was like, I don't even know what Canadian money is, let alone Canadian Tire money. What the hell is that?
No, it's the stuff you get in the
Canadian Tire
Monopoly
like a
box.
Walmart.
No, I think it's the money
Or is
that they
that
use
Princess
before their
Auto?
current money, and it's like completely worthless now. If I would have known that, I would have given him the money in Canadian Tire. I could have bought it for like $5. It would have been way cheaper.
Right. So how are you? My name is John Dillard. I hang out with Metal and Marsupial here a lot, but I've never met you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Hey, it's not every day I run across somebody who's in a remote drone site. It's good to see you. It really does look like that. Like I feel like I need to take a screenshot and send it to you. Like you look like you're in
It's
an
because of
FBI
all
van
the
on a stakeout.
reflective insulation. He's in California in like a trailer, so he has to like heavily insulate that place so he doesn't cook in an oven.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I used to live in Southern California.
It's 101 outside right now.
Yeah.
No, I used to live in Southern California. I was in Redlands actually.
Yeah. Also, I
Oh,
think
that's not
I've
too far
placed.
from me. I'm in Riverside.
I think
Yeah,
I've
kids-
placed why Glacier Mortis recognizes your voice. And probably because it doesn't recognize your voice. Has anybody ever told you that you sound like a higher T Jack Black?
Oh God, don't compare me to him.
Your voice isn't like the same like tenor and range.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll
Yeah.
go with fucking Jack Black. Really?
Yeah.
Why can't you say like?
You'd play a better Bowser though. I think in
Probably,
Mario
yeah,
movie than
for
he
sure.
will.
Hey, I would if you ever make a video and you need a Bowser voice, you just let me know and I'll throw it down. I hate the sound of my voice. But apparently my brother-in-law, when he was like, dude, like you got pipes, you should start singing. And he used to play with like Chris Young out at Cowboys in Dallas, and he's like, he goes, you got pipes. Don't shut the fuck up. Like, you're my brother. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me on stage so you can laugh at me when I suck. And he was like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, no, I've heard the sound of my voice. And he was like, dude, he goes, everybody hates the sound of your voice. He goes, even Chris Young hates the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then so the only way I ever believed him was I went out to, I found a karaoke bar in a place that nobody knows me. And I just went in there, sat down, had a drink, waited for them to call my name, and then got up in front of a bunch of complete strangers and then sang and then listened to their reaction. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. I believe you now. But my brother, I refused to believe like until I validated it with somebody I didn't know, because that's what you do when you love someone. You try to get them in horribly embarrassing
Oh yeah,
situations.
you thought he was just trying to gas you up. Just
Of course. He would. I was certain that he was going to do, because he can bring me on stage anytime he wants, you know, and I was certain he was going to do one of them American Idol things where he hypes me up and then I'm like, I'm going to go on American Idol. And then you get up there and you suck and everybody's like, dude, he's terrible. Yeah. But turns out he didn't want to do that. So. But yeah, I can't stand the sound of my voice.
So John, what do you think of my stickers that I got for your boomerang box?
Are those like 5 inches, 4 inches? Those are huge.
Yeah, they are big. They're like 4 inches.
What are you playing, Pogs again?
Those are
They're
fucking
stickers.
boss. I love them.
John actually designed my logo.
Nice.
So
You got him a little late.
His artwork right there.
I want to put my coffee mug on it.
I
They're
need
like
to
a big
say,
coaster.
yeah, they do look like coasters. Yeah, you could use them for that. I also got these ones for my game company. Black Cage.
What do you make?
So, well,
Nothing in a while.
Yet. It's been a while. I started the company back in 2015, and we had some contracts. We were working on some things, and we've kind of gone into hiatus. But I'll bring it back eventually.
Well, you know, after I made Shovel Knight,
Something like that. We had a contract with Wizards of the Coast. Actually, we were working on a D&D game until they totally screwed us over. But
would you be willing to make? Would you be willing to make the sequel to Knights of the Old Republic so we get one, please? Because I
I'd
would
love to.
appreciate that.
Do you have any contacts with venture capitalists by any chance? That could
No,
get
I'm
us,
pretty
you know,
sure. I'm pretty sure if you
$20
want to
million?
do Star Wars shit, you have to work with EA.
Did
so.
you not like the sequel to Knights of the Old Republic?
The sequel to the
Swiss
old
Army?
one? No, I
Yeah.
think there was a Knights of the Old Republic too. I
Yeah,
need
there
a
was
new
a
one.
KOTOR too. You
I need
want a
shit
sequel to the
nowadays.
sequel.
I need shit nowadays. Like
Yeah,
I'm
What the fuck
playing.
have they done for me lately? You know?
So I went and bought the remastered copy of Command and Conquer and Red Alert,
Oh yeah.
and I've been playing that, and I'm like, how do we not have a new fucking Command and Conquer? Like, how do we not? And I know why. Don't answer that, because I know the answer to that. Because they'd monetize the fuck out of it, have 1 million microtransactions, and then it would just piss me off.
Would you like to boost your army now?
Right? No, they. You know what they would do? They would put these ridiculously long time gates, and then be
Yeah.
like, "If you would like to, a 50% reduction in build time, only $19.99. Get it now before it goes back up to
Or
30."
what they would do is they would use a stamina system, and you could like speed up the time by consuming the stamina, but then it would only reload over the course of a day, so you'd have to spend money to keep filling the stamina back up.
Yeah.
Mhm. Did
Well, they
Westwood
did-
Studios get bought by someone? Who owns Command and Conquer now? Probably EA.
Yeah, probably EA. I'm not sure. Didn't they come out with a mobile version of it? And because what they did with Warcraft was a crime, or not Warcraft. What they did with shit. What's the name of that? The thing that Command and Conquer ripped off.
This is Warcraft.
Oh, is it Warcraft? Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. Same
Yeah,
thing.
Electronic Arts owns.
But yeah,
Command and Conquer.
what EA did, what they did with not EA, but what they did with Warcraft was a crime, and so I don't have a whole lot of hope for a new Conquer. They'll make it woke. It'll be. I mean, it was woke before. Like there were a lot of females in the original Command and Conquer. That's like, oh, I'm gonna kill all the guys. It's like, okay.
Actually, if you're really curious, there is a game called Tiberium Alliances that is free to play. So Metal is absolutely right. It is probably it's a free to play RTS. It's probably monetized
This is how they do it.
all to hell.
This is how they always do it.
So yeah.
But if I don't have my control bindings in Command and Conquer, I'm screwed. I have to have my 1 and my 2. Like I use them all too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. All of my bindings I've got going on with my different stuff. And
So what I do for games like that, right? For like the smartphone games, is like this is the only way you could play them now. Is I just go and I get like BlueStacks or something and I emulate the game because it lets you set touch placements on the screen that you can bind any key to. So you can have like 100 of them on the screen if you want and just bind keys to locations and stuff.
yeah, I'm still an old man. I can't handle the touchscreens. Just give me my keyboard, my beautiful keyboard, and my beautiful mouse, and let me. I have come around to my PlayStation, so I prefer to play first person shooters on my PlayStation now, which I hated before. So
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
the
talking about
opposite.
that. I wish they would push more for controller compatibility on mobile games because there's only one that I play that actually supports controllers, so you can play it, on your iPad, iPhone, or whatever. But you
I
can
need
play it with
mouse
a controller.
and keyboard compatibility for consoles because that's the only way I play for.
they won't do it because then it'll be classified to computer, and they don't want to do it. That's why they won't do it.
Yeah.
Because you can play pretty much any Xbox game you want on your PC, but I don't think the Xbox supports mouse and keyboard because I don't think they want to be classified as a computer.
Well, certain older consoles had like a mouse and keyboard peripheral, but the closer and closer they get to being like full computers, the less and less they're willing to put that stuff out. Like you get a peripheral for the 64 that was a mouse keyboard. I think the GameCube as well. There was a mouse and keyboard peripheral for PlayStation 2.
Was there?
Yeah.
I just want to be able to use my Bluetooth headsets with my PlayStation. Is that asking too much?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. No, you can only use proprietary. I'm impressed. So I've got these Quantum Ones, right? And I'm impressed that my USB works on my PlayStation with my Quantum Ones. That at least made me happy. But
They don't even let you use webcams other than like the PlayStation Eye or whatever for like streaming or anything. You can only use their webcam. You can't use like an external or something.
yeah, I sold mine when I sold my VR headset. Which there are times like when the Iron Man game came out, I was like, man, I would my PlayStation VR. But I sold it, and I actually feel bad for the kid that I sold it to. So I sold it for like $400, which is about $100 less than what I paid for it. And then like literally the next week, the VR market just died, and they started selling brand new ones for $200. And I was like, whoo, that's the only time that's ever happened to me where I sold before the market crashed. But I was like, it's kind of a gimmick. It's, it's fun, but it's not something that I'm going to use. I'm not a porn guy, so I don't need it for that.
And like over half the games can be played just in first person without VR.
Yeah, well, and there were a couple of good games like that. There's this one. It's called Blood something. It's like you're on a roller coaster and you're going through this like roller coaster. You got these two guns and you're just shooting stuff. That one was pretty cool. And I didn't really care for Biohazard. I know everybody liked Biohazard in VR, but I didn't really care for it. It just wasn't there. It was kind of a gimmick. My favorite game oddly enough on VR was the little arcade room for the little PlayStation guy. Like you'd play it for like all the party games. You would play them, and then you would get these tokens, and you could go into this room and you could feed tokens into this little claw machine.
Oh, nice.
And then you would just start stacking up all of these little knickknacks all over the room, and you'd go play with them and you'd touch them. And that was my favorite part of the whole thing, was being in that little trophy room.
Well, there's certain things like I don't get why they haven't remade them in VR yet. Like, so Sega currently has a Genesis, like a Mega Drive collection thing that is built to be used in VR, but you could turn all of that off. So, but that reminded me that there used to be a Namco Museum game for like the PlayStation where you actually walked around the museum and you played all the games. It was for the original PlayStation. And like, man, something like that would be great in VR, where you could just like walk around the Namco Museum, now highly rendered instead of those shitty PlayStation 1 graphics, and actually walk up to the arcade machines and play all of those classics and stuff. And I'm surprised they haven't done shit like that.
Well, because they hate you. Have you not figured that out? That gaming companies hate you? Hey,
They like money.
Excuse me, can we have a third Half-Life, please? Can we have a new Half-Life, please?
Here's Alex. You can have that.
Right? They announced, Epic Games announces that they're releasing a new Half-Life, except it's VR and it's like 15 minutes worth of gameplay. Sorry, guys. Haha, fuck you. Like, and then it's like, hey, how about we get a new Warcraft? And they're like, we're gonna shitty remaster the old Warcraft, and oh, you guys had the hacks so you could play with your friends online? That shit don't work anymore. Ha ha.
Yeah. No, Sega actually pissed me off. They did that recently. They made a new Space Channel 5 as a VR game, where like the total gameplay is like 45 minutes long, but you still have to pay full price for the game, and you don't even play as Ulala because she has to be on screen at all times, and it's VR, so you have to play as a person you can't see. It's like, it's fucking stupid.
The Batman game, that's the other one that I like. The Batman VR game was fantastic, but I honestly do believe that the gaming industry just goes, let's completely screw with people. Like, let's give them a Wolfenstein, but let's make it two women that are just absolutely obnoxious.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah, the new Diablo game, except the Amazon is basically a man.
Yeah. Let's give them another oh shit, I'm gonna blank on the zombie game. The zombie game they completely screwed up.
Zombie game they completely screwed up. I know a new Left 4 Dead type game is coming out. They gave it a different name.
No, it's the one with Ellie in it. What's the name of the game? I'm blanking on it.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Yeah. Let's make a second Last of Us, but let's completely piss on everything in the original.
Yeah.
Just for fun. Let's
Game of the Year.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It must have been great.
And then, just to further piss them off, because everybody hated it, let's have all of the cucked media come out and talk about how great it is, even though it's on the bargain bin of every place that still sells legacy media.
Yeah. Oh, and you had to be approved to talk about it for like the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
If you even mentioned the name, it would like kill videos and streams on the spot.
No. Let's not have a decent Madden in almost 20 years, and then let's let it get to the end of the contract where everybody thinks, oh my God, is 2K going to be able to do football again? And then go, no, I'm just kidding. We're signing another 5 years with this shitty company that doesn't even update. Have you played the new Madden?
No.
Oh my God. So they had this day where you could download it and play the full version of the game. And it was like one of those 6-hour demos. Like once you download it, the clock would start ticking. Dude, I played their story mode to build a character, because I'm a big 2K guy. I love 2K's NBA 2K, and so I played their little, my player for Madden, and I'm not joking. The graphic, the writing was atrocious. The characters, I'm pretty sure, were developers. The modeling was awful, and there was this one video where you were sitting on the couch talking to your manager, who, by the way, had never managed anyone. They were just someone you knew in high school, and decided you wanted to give them control of your entire pro career. They're leaning back talking, and he's wearing this, like, I guess what should have been an Under Armour shirt and a pair of sweatpants. And it looked so bad. It looked like somebody, those really shitty Photoshops that people do that kind of look like jib jabs?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like they had Photoshopped a terribly rendered sweatshirt on him with these sweatpants that they weren't even in the shape of sweatpants. Like, it was something that on a PS2 would have been bad. And I was just staring at it going, how do people buy this game? It's unbelievable. The state of gaming is, in fact, one of my subs bought me Binding of Isaac. And I sat there.
Supposed to be good.
Well, I finally got around to where I remembered that it's on my machine and I have to play it. And I sat down and I played it, and the next thing I knew, it was 4.5 hours later.
Yeah.
And so and it's a
Indie game.
Kind of original Zelda feeling, kind of overhead chamber room game. And it was like I would play this for fun. I wouldn't play Madden 22. I would not play it for 4 hours. In fact, I didn't even play the demo for 4 hours.
Yeah, I love The Binding of Isaac. That's Edmund McMillan. He was a Newgrounds guy. He also made Super Meat Boy, which is another fun game.
Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, Super Meat Boy is really fun. So you play as this little block of meat with these cube arms and legs. He's got a little face on him, and he dies in one hit, right? Because he's just a little block of meat. And it's a platformer where you go in these levels, and the whole puzzle of the level is to figuring out how you have to navigate it. And every single time you die, you immediately reset. And it's basically you try to beat the level in as few deaths as possible. So you have infinite lives. But the game basically shames you the more and more you die. And then at the very end, when you finally beat the level, you see all of the ghosts from your attempts do it at once. And you can see the part where you died the most and stuff like that. It's a really fun experience. Yeah. Yeah,
see, that's the kind of shit Homemade Ramen likes. He likes his Dark Souls. He likes the Sekiro stuff. I tried to play Sekiro, and I liked it. The mechanics were awesome and stuff like that, but my guy kept getting weaker every time I died. And I'm kind of a Leroy Jenkins kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
Where I don't like to sit and observe and learn patterns. I'm just like, Leroy Jenkins! Ah!
Which is the exact play style that games like that punish. Because everyone's like, the Dark Souls games are so hard. It's like, what are you talking about? This is some of the easiest games I've ever played. But then I remember, but I'm also a very methodical person when it comes to games like this. And if you're slow and patient, those games are really easy. If you just run head first, they punish you for that every single time.
Well, I get bored blocking, right? So... Yeah. So when I'm playing Dark Souls or when I'm playing Sekiro or something like that, I know that there's 5 animations this guy has to run that I have to block and dodge before I can swing once and then go into a 5 block and dodge series again. Yeah. I know the pattern. I know where it is. I just get bored blocking. So then I start to try to take 2 or 3 hits in between, and I stop being patient.
It'd be a high risk, high reward player. Yeah.
Yeah, and for the record, on the Last of Us, The Last of Us 2, I didn't play. I watched Upper Echelon. I watched his entire playthrough of that game, but I never played the game because I didn't want to support it. So
No, I don't blame you.
I never bought it. I never played it, and because what they did to Ellie, I mean, we can forget everybody else, you know. But my biggest problem was what they did to Ellie. Like, they turned her into this impulsive, angry, bitter, like, I'm gonna go lose my, spoiler alert, I'm gonna go lose my hand because I want to kill the chick, but then at the very end I'm not gonna kill her, but I still lost my fingers, and now I can't play the one thing that the only guy that ever was my dad, now I can't do what he taught me to do because of my lust for vengeance on somebody I didn't kill. And they only didn't kill her so she could be in the next game. And it's like,
well, that's my
You're
thing. I
dead
thought
to
the
me.
original Last of Us was a pretty shitty game, but most of that came from the gameplay of it. Like, the story was all right and stuff. The Last of Us 2, though, kind of takes it even further, and it's not like there's just one bad aspect. Pretty much everything about the game is bad.
Yeah, I'm not generally a linear game kind of person. Like, I like to be, like, I still am playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and haven't beat it, and I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through. But the reason that I just never got around to beating that game, and The Witcher 2, the reason that I never got, because I'm still in the middle of Blood and Wine on Witcher, but the reason I never ended up beating that is because every single time I go on to play it, I get distracted with hunting shit, and and then the next thing I know, it's like 5 hours later, and I haven't progressed the story at all. You know, and I like those games. I like to be able to just go in and, like, Fallout. I got obsessed with connecting my Fallout cities that it took me forever to beat that game because I cared more about connecting my cities and having like this and having people join into my city. Like, I turned it into Sim City where I wanted the cities to do well. And so I kept screwing around with them, and it took me forever to beat it. But I don't know.
The chat wants to know if you found them with your drones, and also, what are you working on?
I know.
I'm not working on anything. I'm just listening. I'm not. I don't know anything about video games. I haven't played a video game since a PS2. So
Well,
I kind of have nothing to interject with. I'm sorry.
That's all right. How's the Buckler going? Where's my Buckler comic?
Oh, it's right here. You don't see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm redoing the page that was missing.
John has a comic on Indiegogo that I contributed most of the. No, I'm just kidding. That he's sold. What did you get up to? 13,000, 14,000?
Oh, that's how much he's interested in hearing about it.
And he's gone. And he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you working on? Can you share your screen or something?
I could. I'm redoing a page right now though, so I'd rather not. It's the page that went missing.
Oh.
So I'm like, it's yes. It's the page. Okay. There's a really cool page. I was trying to show somebody the other day, and it's just gone. It's not in my files. It's not that I didn't save it. I know I saved it because I had to save over a previous page file for it because I had to move that panel to the next page because I wanted to put this really big, nice like onomatopoeia right in the middle of it, and it was just the word crack. But I had to make it in like big, bold, impact style, break up the word, move pieces of the spine around because it comes right at the point where the buckler rams somebody from the back, going full bore with his powers, and their spine just explodes out of the front of them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I had to do all the bones and stuff, and the bones were looking like they were nicking away pieces of the word. You know, it was like, it's really cool. It's just not there. It's not there, and I have the page. I have the previous save page. It's page 48. So I have the previous. I have 47, 48, and 49 there, but it's the old 48. It's not the new one. And I know I saved it because it took me 2 days to do that page. like just the ink work on it, and it was like, and I saved it multiple times because I save every time I take a break. I don't know where it's at. I don't know, and I'm blaming it on my external hard drive. I'm thinking that it might be under some other entire. I don't know. I haven't done anything different though.
Wait, you're a graphics guy?
I'm an illustrator.
Ah, do you animate too?
I do not. I've
He's made an attempt,
but it's very time consuming and frustrating, not worth the effort for what I do.
Well, you gotta do the cheating stuff that all the animators I know do. They use Adobe Animator and they all of their animations is just them using the facial recognition.
Oh, see, I would love to do something like that. I just can't have anything like Adobe on my laptop because it's just an enormous turd.
Yeah, well, there's a guy that's kind of in our streaming communities. He's amazing at what he does. His name's Adonis Paul, and he's building me a puppet right now for me to stream off of a puppet. And
Nice.
And I'm like super excited. But I'm always looking for graphics guys, so I'll have to DM you. Gamer, send me his DM if you would, Marsupial.
On Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter. And then I'll
Marsupial,
DM you because I need some
question for you,
graphic work
Marsupial.
done.
Did you send somebody my way for a commission?
To pay for a commission?
Yeah.
Probably. Who?
I'm assuming it's a young girl, and I don't know if I'm getting catfished or if this person's underage. I'm thinking like I need to like dip out and like not interact with this person at all. Because it's like somebody that wants to do a comic book and they want a cover and they're like, and every time they finish their sentence with like tee hee, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That sounds like the type of person Marsupial interacts with.
Yeah, it's probably someone I was simping for.
Well, she said one of your friends sent me somebody you're working on a game with, and I was like,
who is it?
That also sounds like
DM me.
Marsupial.
You
DM
said
me
cat.
their name or something. I
You
don't
said
know.
I set the price really high. Hopefully that would kind of like,
Yeah.
make them think twice.
You said
I don't know.
catfish. Tee-hee.
It depends on who it is. It's probably, but I don't know who,
Like
who it could
it feels like somebody trying to get me caught up is what it feels like.
be. Probably.
It feels like probably somebody you know faking with an alternative account just to fuck with you.
Maybe.
Right?
I got to be honest with you. If I thought it was funny and would be good content, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Tee-hee. No, but I actually pay
Yeah.
for work, and we need some visual work done for this new channel we're putting together. So I might approach you for that if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything's like, and the first thing they ask me is, hey, wanted to ask what is your price for line art for a cover, and what is and is not okay.
Uh-oh. Was it Timothy Olsen?
Somebody wants you to draw brony porn.
Yeah, I bet it was Timothy Olsen.
Somebody wants me to draw Funtari horses and shit.
Futanari or something. Just say, I'll do Futanari,
You know, just
but
open
only
myself
with
up.
balls.
Yeah, ever since I opened myself up for commissions from everybody, like, I'm starting to learn a lot of stuff about a lot of different communities.
Oh, no.
I'm getting down with the lingo and everything.
Oh, jeez.
Well, as long as you don't talk to my co-host, my request won't be freaky deaky. But if he comes to you, you better watch out. He'll want you to draw something weird.
All right, so I respond with like my rates, and then I say also in regards to what I'll draw pretty much anything, just no pedo stuff. And then they're like, that's fair, tee hee.
See, when you respond like that, though, like I understand it's kind of like a little quirk or whatever, but it almost sounds as like, oh, I'll make sure it doesn't appear to be pedo stuff.
Right, and then it goes on to say, well, the character is based on me, and I am short 4'1".
Wow, that's
I need to know who this
4-1.
account is. DM me the account.
I'll DM
Right?
you who it is.
No, I need I need you to dox this account right now online. I need to know what we're talking about.
I won't share it. I won't share it.
Is this person a short stack? That's the real question.
I want to know who it is.
I'm gonna start ending everything I say for the rest of time in tee.
Oh boy.
You gotta cover your face like this, and then you go tee hee.
Well, no, wait. Is the tee in parentheses?
Well, it fluctuates from tee hee and then he, like HEHE.
Yeah, but do they put it in parentheses?
No.
And then furthermore, is it in triple parentheses? Because that means a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
That's a dog whistle.
What does that mean?
Triple
I've gotten
parentheses
messages with triple parentheses. What does that mean?
that means that they're indicating that it's Jewish subversion.
Yeah.
What?
That's right.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what the
dead
triple
serious.
parentheses means. On the
You
internet.
can't put it in YouTube chat anymore.
Yeah.
Because it became a huge joke, like where everybody'd be like, we bombed them, you know? and YouTube won't let you do it anymore.
It will if you're a mod, apparently.
Yeah. No, it won't.
Oh,
Are you able to do it just now? For a while, it didn't.
No, it'll show up on your end.
It.
It doesn't come through.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll show on your end.
Showed it
just
on
won't
my
come
end.
across.
It gets auto blocked from the system.
Oh, man, that sucks that YouTube started doing that, where it looks like it works, but nobody else sees it, and you can't.
Yeah. Well, just
it just goes into the.
You're shadow banned, but just let YouTube know that you're a former Jew. They'll probably let you get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, that's it's a paradox, because it's like you've got these people who hate 4chan, but then they feed 4chan by taking what 4chan says seriously and implementing measures to stop it, like the OK sign. Every single like I did that to Nancy, one of Nancy Pelosi's videos the other day. Somebody tweeted out a Nancy Pelosi video where she was talking. Well, one of the things that, and I'm not going to do it because I don't need people having screenshots of me doing it, but you know, this where politicians will talk like this, well, they always do it with the OK sign. And so anytime I seen it, I'm like, oh my God, what is this white racist supremacist doing here? Flashing. Well, no wonder you guys think she's crazy, because she's flashing a white supremacist Nazi sign. But that OK thing was, and they're not quiet about it. Like 4chan's like, okay, today we're going to take this beloved character, this beloved cartoon character on the internet, and we're going to make all of these dumbasses think it's racist. And then all of a sudden, the guy who created Pepe the Frog is going, guys, my frog is not racist. And they're like, yes, it is. And then 4chan's just going, hee hee, tee hee.
That's exactly what a racist would say.
Yeah, that's exactly what a racist would say.
Well, we had that story a little while back with the guy from the fishing card game, who they had a promotional image of a frog that was doing the OK sign, and it was clearly a troll, like it was a bullfrog, but like the guy got totally cancel cultured or whatever.
Yep. And they do it. It's a game. It's fun.
Yeah.
And
like, I got one. Here we go. So
I don't know if they haven't
right?
figured it out or it's on purpose, but it's a game for 4chan. Like, let's make this racist this week.
Yeah. So like Mussolini was Italian, right? Here's the new one we got. So you know how like Italian people, they do this when they talk. They kind of like squinch their hands together. They gabagoo. This is now going to be a sign of fascism right here, and all because of the Mussolini Italian connection.
And they'll get it done too.
Yeah.
Like it's the equivalent of trying to get a large streamer, which actually screws people like us over. It's trying to get the attention of a large streamer just for the fun of it, you know? And so you do all of this stuff. Well, then everybody starts taking measures to where if anybody promotes their channel on my stream, get rid of them and stuff like that, because and it screws people who are, you know, legitimately talented that want to be a part of, you know, something bigger, and now there's no in routes because everybody's already used it all up.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a hard thing to deal with.
Well, Metal, congratulations on your 100th episode of the Vomitorium.
Yeah, we're having a party. Right here, right now.
I wish I had some
Games and
alcohol.
prizes?
Any surprises? I got some surprises for you. Here we go.
I didn't say surprises. I said games and prizes.
Oh, games and prizes? No. No
Cash
games and
prizes.
But surprises are fun. Let's see it.
Yeah. So the surprises are, did you know this show is also known as Antcast? See, when we first started the show, I had a different co-host, and my brother was also on the lot too. And we would troll our co-host so hard by constantly redirecting the topic that whatever we were talking about into facts about ants. It's a lesser known kind of like in-joke here at the show. So for Antcast, I was gonna like filter these throughout the show, and we just got busy up in conversation, forgot. I have a whole list of facts about ants just randomly pulled up here.
Oh, nice.
Wait a minute. Are they new facts?
There are facts that you probably don't know.
All right, I'm ready to hear.
Yeah. So, did you know that ants live longer than any other type of insect, and some of them can live up to 30 years?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a pretty old fucking bug right there.
If
You
I say
just-
that I did know that, do I win a prize?
No.
I had heard that
That's
ants
good.
live a long time. I did not think it was anywhere in the neighborhood of years, let alone 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. This is a long time to be alive for an insect.
They don't live 30 years in my neck of the woods. I
Oh, no, we can
poison
kill
the
'em.
shit out of those bastards.
Oh, and especially like freaking North Texas, we have horrible.
Yeah,
horrible
no,
ant
I walk around with ant bait like attached to my hip when I'm walking around my land, and every single hill I see, I just go, "Hey, have some food, guys."
Yeah. There's another really cool one. Where was it?
I say, wait a minute, isn't that genocide?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like to call it anticide, but you know, whatever.
The largest ant colony ever recorded was found in Europe, and it was 3,750 miles wide, made up of multiple colonies that came together to form a super colony.
Ooh,
Oof.
Yeah.
ooh.
Man, like the Latin X people.
Yeah, somewhat. Except absolutely, I don't know. How many Latinx people are there? Like
You said Latin. You know, Latin
0.5%.
people hate that, right?
Yeah, I know. Like 0.5% of actual Latin people.
Yeah. Say
John is Latinx.
say Latinx to Royce Lopez and see what happens.
Nah, that guy's not a real Mexican.
No, he's Cuban.
Like
Oh
I
yeah,
said.
so he's definitely not a real Mexican.
No, because that's what they did to us. That's what they did to all Mexicans, Ecuadorians, Cubans, Puerto Ricans. You're just all one group now. You're a super group called Latin X.
Right? That's
Latinx
that,
sounds like something that you'd see in like a freaking 80s movie of like a gang. That's just like the gang's name, and it's just the
Like
super
with
group.
a Latin X, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I did a stream on that where I talked about how these people are the super racists of the world, the ones that stand around and call everybody else racist because they're eliminating the identity of anybody who has any color in their skin whatsoever. Like they're removing them off of advertisements. They're putting them in these buckets where they remove their areas of origin, like Latinx and stuff like that. They want to throw men and women's sports, so that way women's sports is also men's sports. And they are literally calling people colored people. They're just rearranging it. It's like, did you just call him a colored person? Holy shit, dude. Like, my God, you were obsessed with race.
Yeah, it's like,
Holy
no.
crap.
It's person of color because we're prioritizing person. It's like,
Yes.
but you still put the word color in there, so you're prioritizing that word too.
Yes, but let's
I mean, like
look
normal
at...
people, regular normal people realize that it's like a bad thing. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
fucking Marsupial over here is, you know what he does.
But go, like, learn Spanish or something like that, and what do? They put the adjective... they put the adjective ahead of the noun.
Yeah.
And so when you say colored people, if you say that in Spanish, you're saying, or if you're saying person of color, if you say it in Spanish, it's colored people.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally calling them colored. Like, what is wrong with you? I know what's wrong with it. It's
No, the
subversion.
great
They want it
thing
that
is
way.
that the people that speak Spanish will never say colored people. They'll say mayate or negro.
Yeah.
It's just, it
Oh,
blows my mind.
Dude, I saw these people freaking out again over freaking like Crayola and their crayons because they put like
Oh,
three
yeah.
different languages. They'll have English, Spanish, French, and then they'll see like the Spanish word for black, which is literally negro, and they're like, "I can't believe you would put this on a crayon." It's like it's Spanish for black. Like, do you not want them being multilingual on the crayons? I thought this was about like internationalism and speaking to other people on their terms.
Hey, who's Rick?
That's Cross Comics.
Oh yeah, he's not in the chat right
They
now.
they think you're Rick.
Oh, all right.
He's just doing
He's
a
an
voice.
occasional
Oh,
guest on our
damn.
show.
Who thinks he's Rick? You should probably kick them out of the chat.
I mean, I prefer Richard, but whatever.
Yeah. As long as you're not calling me Dick.
Yep. No, I want
right.
nothing to do with Dick.
Yeah.
You know what's great?
Hey, there
His
you go.
actual,
Clip that.
His name could be Dick, but his last
Right.
name is actually, in reality, Piper.
Yeah. So you can't go by Dick and have the last name Piper. Like that just doesn't work.
I would absolutely go by Dick if my last name was Piper.
Now, that's one of those things you got to wonder, though. Like, who looked at the name Richard and decided to call it Dick? And it's like, you know, it's somebody who had a friend named Richard or had a boss
Yeah.
named Richard, and they fucking hated him, and they're like, I'm just going to start calling you Dick. And then the next thing you know, it permeates itself. I think there's, like, the first guy who ever ate an egg, like, that guy was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how the name John, because my name's John, how that morphed into Jack. Like some people named John go by Jack, and I'm
I've
like,
never heard that.
I've never
No, that's
heard
actually a
that.
very common thing. Yeah.
that's what Jack is short for, or
Well,
you know.
no, sometimes it's also short for Jackson.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
I would refer to you as one who sleeps with prostitutes. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
At least I'm getting some.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Tee-hee.
I mean, this is why people want money, right?
That's
People
right.
want money for the bitches. We never said that, you know.
Sex work is work. That's the important thing.
Yeah, but
Here's what I don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah, but so is sucking shit out of a plastic building.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about the Twitch streamers. I never understood the concept of Twitch streaming or having an OnlyFans or whatever. I don't really consider that to be sex work. Like they're always talking about, like, you know, people stripping
Well,
on
it
OnlyFans,
depends,
sex
right?
work.
Because some people
Well,
on
it's not sex
OnlyFans
work, 'cause
are
it's not
literally
sex. I mean-
masturbating in their OnlyFans for people to watch. That's kind of
Mm.
borderline sex work. It,
Nah,
Yeah.
that's like being a stripper on a pole. It's same thing.
This
Yeah.
is
Hey.
porno.
It's not sex work.
it's
I
like
call it
softcore sex work.
I call it dedication because you ain't gonna have another fucking job outside of that.
Oh
and
yeah,
you're committed.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like that is the ultimate form of commitment. Like you're never gonna be able to. You're never gonna be able to become an actor if you can sing. You won't ever do well as a singer. You know,
Yeah.
anything you won't ever be able to. I mean, not that you would want to be a politician, but you would never be able to have a life in politics. You'd be constantly worried that somebody's going to find it. And I don't know about you guys, but when I hire someone, I Google them.
Yeah.
hmm
And so all it takes is one unhinged ex, and I'm going to use the word I hate, but ex simp, that goes unhinged on you, that decides to pull their autism out and find out who you are, and they make one post on Twitter using your real name, well, when I do the Google search, that post is going to come up no matter how insignificant it is.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go, oh, this person's online name is this. Let me search that online name. Oh, this person is shoving a cigar in her vagina. All right, I'm not hiring her.
Wait a minute. Why wouldn't you hire her?
Because I'm a data analyst. I'm not a...
Sketchbook says he calls it horror tree.
Yeah, it's some of the stuff people do online with their actual names is just unreal. Because it's not hard to find my name if you want to find my name. But I'm not putting it out there so people can Google my name and be able to be like, oh, this guy's a streamer. Let me watch one of his streams before I bring him in for an interview. And then they watch the Biden stream, and I'm like, you motherfucker! Ah!
By the way, Dario is in the waiting room. If you would like to let it.
Yeah,
Daria.
We can pull him in.
Dario.
I have to step out for just a brief minute. I'll be back in like a second. So Marsupial, you hold the reins.
I'll try.
Somebody needs to poop.
No, but I
should
do
probably
need to use the restroom.
reintroduce yourself. There's some new people here who don't know who you are.
Semper
Me?
Reloaded. Who are you?
Yeah,
Semper, Semper Reloaded.
I'm just some dude on the internet, Simple Reloaded, and I have a channel over on YouTube, and I'm still one of the 5 people who haven't been kicked off of Trovo, and I've got
Amazing.
I've got a D Live that I'm one of my 5 friends who haven't been kicked off D Live, and I have a Twitch as well that has like 10 subs on it because I'm awesome.
Do you use Entropy at all?
No.
That's been a helpful little service for some people I've noticed that have gotten kicked off of Trovo and D Live and all that.
Yeah, I have
normally
my
Marsupial. When a new person comes in, you should say hi to them.
right. Jerk.
Oh, hi Dario. How's it going?
Asshole.
Hello.
Boy, John is just being demanding here. Welcome. Also known as Glacier Mortis or Glacier Mountain Comics.
Yeah, there's a little button on the bottom of your Discord that says video. Click it.
Oh, we want to see Dario.
Yeah, and I act all arrogant and confident in that, but for the first probably 10 minutes of me being on the stream, I was like, "Why can't I see my video?"
There he is.
Uh-oh. See, I like that everybody's smoking because then I can pull out my cigarette.
There you go.
I light the wrong end of it.
What does that say? You're blurrier than John. Did that say hi, John?
I think that said John, but it had 3 parentheses around each side of it.
Right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
John's video has progressively
go.
gotten better.
I know.
I don't know if you know this, but he decided to hop on the live stream while he was on a stakeout.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got to make a living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I'm liking
also,
Dario's
stakeouts
new
are
look.
very-
He looks like a lumberjack these days.
I know, right?
Stakeouts are fucking
He's-
boring as shit. You need to do something while you're on them.
He's getting ready for the premiere of the new Dexter. That's what he's doing.
Eagle's asking who I am. I'm Marsupial.
Tee.
See, I'll prove it. Tee.
Asking who the guy who's on
Tasty guy
every
in the
single
corner.
episode of the show.
I'm only on every episode though,
Yeah.
Right.
so it's understandable.
I could see how you would miss him.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost blends in with his background.
I like that you're like fuck this. I'm only gonna have one bookshelf full of shit, not 20 books. I'm not gonna have a full wall of shit like everybody else. I'm just gonna have one bookshelf.
Well, see, I just moved a week ago, so I'm in a brand new apartment right now, and I haven't set everything up yet. But I could do it.
Did you put that bookshelf together yourself?
I did, my own hands. There, I could have a background. I could be,
You're just fucking full of tricks, aren't you?
I could be in the closet
right?
of South
Oh, that looks
Park.
like my background.
Meanwhile, I'm coming to you from pre-2005.
Right.
That's right.
Hey, listen, you can't play Duck Hunt without a CRT.
No,
all
you
right?
can't. That's why I actually have one right here that I can use to play Duck Hunt.
See, I can do that too.
I got the light gun
These
around
things
here
matter.
somewhere too.
How are you doing that without a green screen? You're not on Zoom.
Magic.
Is it magic? Let me see if I can do it. How do you do that?
It's an application called ChromaCam.
Oh, okay. I don't want to
Yeah,
install
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
You lost me at third-party application.
Sorry. I can also do scan lines.
It's hard enough to keep OBS and Discord playing well together. I don't need 9 third-party applications. Because then all of a sudden OBS updates and nothing works with it anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck! God
Well,
damn!
ChromaCam was the same way for a while there. Like they came out with a new version and it completely stopped working for a while. And then,
It's great. Like Marsupial knows all these tips and tricks, right? But like I'm gonna admit, I'm super disappointed with like the quality and the time put into the 100th episode tagline he has on his screen.
I know you didn't even
Hey,
change
I
it.
typed it out.
You didn't, yeah, but you didn't even change it from Arial font. That's the default.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I just expect more from Marsupial.
you want it to be like let's see, Comic Sans, everyone's favorite.
I'm willing to try anything.
No, I want chiller. Put it in chiller, please.
Chiller. What's that?
Yes. Chiller
The
is
Arial.
only the
Oh.
most awesome.
Chiller's all right. Yeah.
Nice.
It's like
It
that
looks
horror
like
font.
you're about to die.
There we go. Much
Can you,
better.
can you at least press like bold or something on that, or?
I could try. These are difficult requests here.
These are like
Make the back-
word formatting requests. I saw you move
I
an
can't-
image
Don't do that.
onto screen earlier too. You literally could have just like went into like Paint or something, typed out 100th episode, and then just like
Mhm.
moved that image onto the screen with a better font or something.
Better font than
Yeah.
chiller? There is no better font than chiller, sir.
It's just the constant abuse. I don't know why I put up with it. It's so mean.
Every
Look at him
episode.
over there. He's just on a live stream doing his job.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, don't mind me. I'm just drawing.
That's every
Who,
time.
John?
Yo, I mean, you got comics and stuff to make. You can't take time off even to be on a live stream with somebody else. You just gotta do it.
He's got things to do.
I got my
Very good.
I got my first writing credits today.
Oh, nice.
The new sign up page for Melvin on Indiegogo is up, and I wrote those blurbs.
And speaking
tried
of comic book stuff, since I don't normally get to talk to comic book nerds,
Hey,
are you guys not sorry? Are you guys not alarmed at the swiftness that the woke community came in and just took over that entire fucking realm?
Oh no, trust me, we were paying attention to that the entire time and complaining about it. Most of the people here are like Comicsgate people.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I saw something that said that like Iron Man was butt fucking Captain America in an episode recently or something. Or Wolverine. No, it was Wolverine and Cyclops were like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we like to fuck each other in the butts."
it's okay. They can have it. We're rebuilding something much better.
Yeah,
but,
are you
know,
are you
you should
aware
be
of
alarmed.
the Comicsgate movement? Or
You're not aware of the revolution?
No.
the half-assed revolution?
the way Comicsgate views itself is the mainstream comic book industry is the Titanic, and Comicsgate is all the people on the escape craft, or the life rafts floating away, and we're just there, and they're just they're gonna stay on there. They're gonna keep playing their music and enjoy it as they go down in flames, and we're just like, have fun, bye.
You can't get yourself your own Mediker and just have him single-handedly take everything down?
No.
We sort of do. I mean, you could say Ethan Van Sciver is a little bit like that. He's helping to hasten the destruction of the industry a little bit.
Well, just make sure you tell him when it's over not to completely cuck and turn into a fucking COVID simping weirdo.
Yeah, Mediker had some interesting takes last year, didn't he?
Yeah, and he was great. And then he started running around telling us the sky was falling, and then he comes back and goes, I'm going to double down. I still think the sky is falling. Oh, stop it. Come on,
I mean,
man.
it makes sense from somebody who's in as bad medical condition as him. Like, it really changes the way you think about the world.
Does it, though?
For a lot of people. I wouldn't say his head is in the right place.
Maybe.
But then again, I don't think his head's ever really been in the right place.
Who, Mediker?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching him for a long time, and that dude's always had a few screws loose. He's kind of like an accelerationist. I think he wants people to freak out about this shit because he wants to see it all burned down.
Yeah.
Oh, watch his last one, and it was like the one that he did a year and a half later, and it was just kind of like, it was almost like somebody was wearing his skin. Like he had the same cadence and stuff like that, but the actual jokes weren't landing, and the content was just like, eh. I mean, but again, I have 1,100 subs, so who the fuck am I to talk about Medica, right?
Have you guys ever delved? Oh shit! I'll say it, but you guys don't have to talk about it. That way, it doesn't fuck up your channel.
Oh, like I give a shit.
Have you ever delved down the Jimmy Carter rabbit hole?
A little here and there, yeah.
No, I don't give Jimmy Carter a single thought.
Jimmy Carter is basically the movie Face Off.
I wouldn't. Hey, you know what? After the last year and a half, nothing is off limits. Nothing.
Hey, you'd be surprised how many politicians are the movie Face Off.
You just got to go from my mantra, which is just look around and realize that everything you see, there is an equal likelihood that it's complete bullshit. And then you'll be fine. Like everybody's like, well, that's really black-pilled. I'm like, actually, no, it's white-pilled, because I look around and go, okay, I'm just going to hang out with my family. Like, I'm not, all of this shit, none of it's real.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you own your own property, if you're away from everybody, it doesn't really matter. Like, you start to realize how much of this shit just doesn't fucking matter.
No, it doesn't. There was this one week that I forgot to log on to Twitter. And then I logged on and realized that I didn't know what I was supposed to be upset about because I haven't been looking at Twitter. Like everybody, like I know all the greeters at my Walmart, and I'm like, "Hey, Tommy, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "How you doing, man?" He's, "Oh, it's great." Nobody wears masks. Like sometimes I get envious because nobody ever attacks me for not getting vaccinated or wearing a mask or anything. And I'm like, why doesn't that shit ever happen? Because I'm a pretty big, like I'm a 6 foot kind of, big dude. And I would love for somebody to like get up in my face so I could just go, because I don't want to, fuck off. But nobody will do it. And it makes me sad a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my company to be like, everyone has to get vaxxed. And even though we all work from home, but darn it, they haven't done it yet.
Mine did. Mine threw out a mandate, and we had like 29% of people who just crossed our arms and said, "I refuse," and then they ended up backing off the mandate.
Well, they're saying that it's getting passed right now. It's heading to the Supreme Court, but a little caveat they threw in because they know they're never going to be able to pull it off is either all private employers are now going to be forced to have 100 or more employees to have the mandate, but the little thing they threw in, or you can get tested every week.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
I'm not letting somebody shove a Q-tip up into my brain. It's not gonna fucking.
See, I'm
They're
self-employed,
saying,
so I don't have anybody to push back against.
They're saying the last time it happened, though, in the Supreme Court, that it actually went in the favor of the government. It was like during the measles and the mumps epidemic.
Yeah, but it was the opposite. It was the opposite situation. Is that it went in favor of the states, the state governments, because the state governments wanted to do vaccines and the federal government wanted to overrule it. So in this case, if it goes the same way, it'll go against the federal government.
Yeah, because it's not under the purview of the federal government. It's up to the states to handle stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to see the show, if you don't want to see what makes my stream as popular as it is, you might want to stay away from measles, mumps, and rubella, because I'll get your channel nuked. Because that's the vaccine that hurt my little girl, and I get very, very, very animated when I start talking about the MMR.
It just sucks because I don't want to get it, but it seems like that might be how they finally get me because I don't want to lose this job either. So,
See, what they need to do is have an exemption for people, at least have an exemption for people who've had it. Because I had COVID a year ago.
You
So
still
I'm immune.
think this is about being protected from a virus? They're not going to provide exemptions. That's not what this is about. This is about control, man. This is about getting people into a position. Oh, see? Okay.
Yeah, listen.
I'm gonna
We're
stop.
not even
I'm gonna
exempting.
stop.
We're not even exempting dead people. We're gonna start injecting corpses just to make sure that everybody has it.
No, I mean, if you want to go down that crazy rabbit hole, you know, there's. I went. My last stream was us looking at biotech and nanotechnology that exists. That isn't from a conspiracy theorist. It's from their own fucking mouths at symposiums where they're talking about shit that they can already do, like creating genetically modified viruses, bacteria, and shit like that. And when you start looking at it, it gets scary, man. And they're proud of it. They're proud of it, and they have these like stupid shit-any grins when they're talking about it. And they're like, this time we're creating stuff, but we're doing it with intelligent design. And it's like, you really fucking think, like, this guy is talking about how he is currently creating viruses that are immune to antibiotic, bacteria that is immune to antibiotics. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, a lot of them are transhumanists, so everybody else is just cracked eggs in the omelet, you know?
I think they're so fucking arrogant that they think that they can literally save the world. Which, by the way, speaking of comic books, I'm actually going to do a stream on this in the near future. But I'm watching Superman and Lois right now, which is like the only decent CW show that's out there. I've actually been pretty impressed with it. But I've started having this thing where I look at superheroes, and superheroes, they're starting to like, and they've always been this way. It's almost like it's pre-programming to look at yourself and say, I can't actually do anything or make a difference. I have to rely on this person who is bigger and stronger to save me, to keep me safe. And I'm watching this Lois Clark, and I keep hearing the phrase, I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm trying to keep you safe. And then when you start looking at all of the comics and stuff like that's what it's all about. I'm here to keep you safe. And you guys, if you look at it, every single time someone who's not a superhero tries to protect someone else, they end up dead or kidnapped, and somebody has to come save them. And it's starting to be a thing. So I'm kind of putting it together in my brain right now, but I'm probably going to do a whole stream called I'm just trying to, or I'm keeping you safe is what I think I'm going to call the stream. And it's going to be
What's
nothing
your email?
Why?
So I can send you the 100th episode PNG.
Oh, okay. Can I
Put it in the
send-
vomitorium chat or something.
I'll put it.
With
I'll
my
put it
DMs.
in your Twitter. Yeah.
Haha, joke's on you. It's brony porn. Tee.
Oh.
Brony porn. Tee.
Tee-hee.
No, it's just
Yes.
a dog dick. He's gonna send him another dog dick.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna send me. He's gonna send me something to put up by
Yeah.
my head, I guess.
Yeah, but you compare this to like the superheroes of yore, like go back to mythology and stuff. You people like Heracles, and Heracles wasn't like trying to keep people safe per se. Characters like that, they were only stepping in for things that like a normal.
Are you trying to pronounce the word Hercules?
His name is Heracles. Hercules is the Roman name. But like characters
Isn't
like
this
that,
the vomitorium?
it is. But I was talking about Greek mythology. So, he was just trying to stop things that humans literally could not handle, right? Which even a lot of earlier superhero stuff was like that too. It was like they were trying to just let you deal with your normal life, but then there's like this threat, like a god comes in. It's like, well, there's no way a normal human can deal with a god. It's a force of nature. So he would just come in and set the balance right. That was old superheroes, was just like putting the scale back to balance. But now it's trying to actually tip the scales more. I would say that would be the difference with storytelling now, trying to keep you safe.
Yeah, it's just I start because Superman's like my god. Like
Yeah.
I even like I have a tattoo of the Superman emblem ripping through my skin because I
You
used
know
to be like
You
300
Superman is gay,
pounds.
right?
Everybody's gay in comics now. Are you saying Lois is his beard?
No. See, you're thinking
Sorry.
of Jonathan Kent. He's the gay one.
Oh, well.
His son. They have
I
to
don't.
fuck up every storyline for Superman.
Right. We just need a superhero that comes. We need a superhero that flies out of the air and lands on the ground. Hey, I'm talking to you, Mr. Illustrator up there. We need a superhero that just flies down and goes, "Hey, everyone, it's okay. I have sex with women." And just that's his superpower, is telling people he has sex with women.
I just want you to
John,
know,
did-
I got lucky last night.
Yes. In case anyone's wondering, no, he just, like, they're robbing a bank. He
Just once.
flies into the bank and stops, and he says, "Hey, guys, I just want to make sure you know I have sex with women." And then the cops come in and arrest him while they're distracted, and that's his whole superpower, is just distracting people by telling them he has sex with women.
One of the robbers has like dyed pink hair and stuff, and almost has a heart attack just hearing that somebody has
Right.
sex with a woman.
Shoots him or herself in the face, but you don't know whether it's a him or her. Oh my God, he has sex with women. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it'll put you on the map.
John, did you get my email?
I
email
sent it
address.
already. That's done.
Oh.
Yeah, get with the
Let-
program,
you should
Marsupial.
Let's play a game and let's call it "What is Marsupial Gamer doing when he turns his camera off?"
I'm smoking, but you
Jerking
know,
off.
Are you smoking in your brand new apartment?
I
Degenerate?
am. I just
Are
don't
you
know
wor-
if people are comfortable with.
I
Well,
don't
being
give a
that
shit.
3 of us has smoked on stream while you were sitting there, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's smoking!
That's the superhero I want to draw.
Right.
The man who.
Guy just
I
rolls
haven't
up
got-
into a Denny's and lights up a cigarette.
That sounds like a pulp right there. You just call it the man who smokes. It just writes itself.
I'm gonna call it the Shadow.
The Shadow, no. That was back when superheroes were awesome, were
Yeah.
the old school 40s radio days. Marsupial
Yeah,
Gamer,
people
you
do
look
that
like a
stuff.
3rd grade teacher.
Okay.
No, you should see him when he wears his like horizontal striped shirt that's tucked into his sweat shorts. He looks like a 3rd grade student.
What? I'm turning off my video.
Nothing, Marsupial, nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, he looked like how Robin Williams dressed in that movie Jack.
What is the shirt you're talking about?
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't know
good
what you're
movie.
talking about.
Jack
I've
Garland.
never seen the movie Jack.
You haven't seen Jack?
Movie, but it was
Yeah, I've
famous.
seen that, but I don't know what shirt you're talking about of mine.
Your polo shirt that has the stripe, the horizontal stripes.
Oh, there it
Tuck
is.
into your sweat shorts.
You're not supposed to wear horizontal stripes. That's what
Oh,
they
you
call a
can if
faux
you're
pas.
skinny.
Tee-hee.
Did you get my PNG yet, Marsupial?
Yeah, it came through as 2 different ones.
He's got to connect. Hold on. He's got to connect his DSL line. Give him a second.
Hold on.
If anybody's on a shitty DSL line, it's probably me.
Hey, listen.
Good
He's
internet.
he's got a 48.8 modem. Not one of them. Not one of them lame 14.4 one.
I'm looking for it.
Mario,
Hold on.
is he's like going in and out or what?
Hey, I don't mind admitting it. I downloaded the original Doom through an IRC on a 14.4 modem.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to. So I was on a YouTube stream last week, and we played like Cards Against Humanity while we were live streaming. I'm trying to find that website again, but I'm checking
Pretend
my
you're
history.
Exizzy.
There we go.
The website that most people use to play Cards Against Humanity is Pretend You're Exizzy.
Perfect.
Oh.
Now you can use that every time you stream.
The only card game I play is Gwent.
Gwent's pretty good.
Yeah, dude, it came up right away, so I must have already been there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you only play in Witcher, or have you played the standalone Gwent?
I didn't even know there was a standalone. I play in
there's
Witcher.
a PC
That's-
version that you can just play only Gwent against other people.
No, well, that's all I do. That's why I
Yeah.
haven't beaten Blood and Wine yet, because I get sucked into Gwent, and then the next thing I know, it's like 5 hours later.
Yeah, it's free to
What
play
is
too.
Gwent?
Like you
What is
just download it and
Gwent?
play. Gwent with a T. at the
Gwent
end.
is the card game inside The Witcher. It was
My
supposed to be
apologies.
like
What
a
is
side
Gwent?
game, but it's the main game for me.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because it's basically a skirmish. So you've got like these different rows, and you basically set up an army that fights the other side, and there's like you have to have more value by the end of the game than the other person. So it's kind of like a plus or minus system.
Dude, they really should have. If Witcher won any award, they should have won it for accidentally creating an amazing card game.
Yeah. But the PC version that you could play with people for free online, it was so well received that they actually started printing Gwent cards.
No, because it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's the only card game I have and will play, and I've got a 20 and a 19-year-old, so we played Pokemon and fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, and I hated every second of it, but I did it because they're my kids. But yeah, Gwent I actually chose to play, and then I'm like, and then my kids are like, oh, I don't even like Gwent, and I'm like, screw you, dude. Like, God, why did I even have you?
Yeah, kids
Ugh.
are
Yeah.
Gwent's like a really good game because it's cerebral, but it doesn't need a lot of math. And it's really hard to do that. It's hard to be cerebral and not use math. It's almost like playing chess, but as a card game.
Yeah, it's because there's some stuff hidden in there, and then you go to attack somebody, and I think the computer cheats, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, it does.
Because it just seems like every single time I put up every single time I have all of my main people on the front row, then all of a sudden they make it rain, and it's like, how did you have a second rain card, you fuck? Bullshit.
Yeah. No, they definitely cheat. I remember playing it in game, and it's like I kind of like the standalone app better because you only ever play against people, you never play against a computer whatsoever, and the variety of cards is a lot wider too. Like they have cards just for the standalone version that they've added since like The Witcher 3 ended, and it's just fun.
Daria, what are you up to? You look like you're just fooling around over there.
Still a little bit hungover from last
Well, he
night.
just changed his shirt. in case you guys didn't notice.
Yeah, is that a what is that, a Porsche shirt or I don't know. I don't know cars.
Of course, it's a Porsche shirt.
I think it's.
Of course, it's a Porsche shirt, or it's a Ferrari shirt.
Ferrari.
I almost yelled at you for the wrong shirt.
Yeah.
I tried
Fucking
tried
Ferrari.
live streaming from the bar last night. It didn't work
Oh
out.
yeah, did that not work out?
Not good at all. There was like a brawl and everything, so I had to put my phone down and stuff.
There's a brawl.
There was like blood everywhere from one of my coworkers while I was trying to eat my chicken wings and mozzarella sticks.
Nice.
I like how you said that. Like it's just another day, another day at the bar.
What do you expect?
Yeah, no big deal.
And then the weird part was that there is these girls that I used to babysit when I was like 16 or whatever, and I know for a fucking fact they're not old enough. So like at 1:30 the bar announces that their kitchen's open, so all the drunk people like swarm upstairs. I'm ordering my food and I look next to me and I see them. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck did you guys get in here? And they're like, shut up, we don't like snitches. And I was like, oh shit. I just sat there and ate my food. I'm just like, how the fuck did these girls?
You should have told them to go to their room.
And you didn't stream this?
You couldn't.
No, just because streamed a little bit of it, but it was mostly like just going like this and then putting my phone down so people didn't think I was like a fucking fed or something.
Well, sorry to hear about that.
Hopefully you
And
enjoyed the extra iron on your food.
And just blood everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like and the bouncers there, are like the same people that are cooking your food. So when the lady came back to my food, I was like, "You need a raise." She just laughed it off, but her ears like all fucked up and everything.
He's back. I guess he caught his mark.
Yeah. So I have an interesting ant fact for you.
Oh, nice. Let's hear that fact.
You know,
Another ant fact.
you know the are you aware of the game Sim Ant
Yes.
No.
from 1991?
Yeah, that game is rigged.
It is the number 8 top downloaded game on myabandonware.com. Apparently, it's still very popular.
There's a sim for everything now.
You ever
No,
played
Sim
Sim
Ant
Ant?
fucking sucks, man. Like, so you're the red team versus the blue team, so they're like literal blue ants,
Black.
and like you have to stay on top of things at all times because if you slip up once, the blue team just like takes over the territory to the point that you cannot recover. It is genuinely just a horribly designed game that's rigged from the start.
Yeah, you have to spread out your colony as quickly as possible and surround the red ants so that you defeat them quickly. Otherwise, you're
You have
screwed.
to take over the yard first. That's the whole goal. Is there's like one backyard and you're trying to get it before the other ant team does.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a
have you
command
guys
and
heard of
conquer
that?
type game.
Have you guys heard of that new game coming out? It's like they
Yep.
say it's a Super Smash Brothers ripoff, but with like all Nickelodeon
Yes,
characters.
Nickelodeon
Yes.
All Stars Brawl.
Is it out yet or no? Or
No, it's soon. 5th, I think, is when it comes
How
out.
can a brawl video game be a ripoff of anything?
Super Smash Brothers is like very
Right.
specific.
They literally had everybody's favorite is Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh no, that's everybody's least favorite is Brawl.
That's oh, you missed it. Damn it. You missed the joke. I was trying to piss off homemade ramen.
Oh, whenever that game
Oh,
comes
does he get
out,
triggered
they
by
clean
like
it up.
Smash stuff easily with Brawl?
Yeah, he's a Smash nerd. He's one of those
He must hate tripping.
he's one of those slow down the frame rates to learn your combos nerds.
Yeah.
And yeah, he gets really mad when you talk about Brawl. So I talk positively about it as much as
Meta Knight and
possible.
tripping, best things in the game.
Yes. I told him that Meta Knight's the best character and he gets mad. It's like, no. He goes, you can't use that in competition. I'm like, ha, nerd.
Stop me.
Yes, we've talked
So,
about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl before, and it's coming out in 3 days, actually.
With Busty
Oh, really?
O'Neill.
See, I can always tell people who don't watch our show because
We talk about it a lot.
they don't know that we talk about certain things all the time.
You sit there with the production value that you have, and then you get offended that people don't watch your show.
Hey, I have a pumpkin that you should be very impressed with.
You barely even see the pumpkins.
Yeah,
Little
except
orange
it's cut
line.
off.
I see the goddamn thing, and I don't really give a rat's ass that you stopped off at the fucking Dollarama on the way to your apartment. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
so who
still-
would you guys?
I still like that he's only got one little shelf back there. Like, you do realize you could back your entire setup up to where that one little teeny tiny bookshelf looks bigger, right? And it's not even centered.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh my
it's actually
God, I had no
leaning
idea
forward
Marsupial
off
was
the wall,
bald in
too.
the back of his head.
He's like, I don't have enough Fun Pop dolls to fill out 2 of them.
You know, it's like coming forward. It's gonna topple on top of me.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I have other things.
Leave the camera on.
Right.
I want to see you get up
Yeah.
and try to shuffle that thing closer.
Yeah.
I'd sooner shuffle my desk back, I think.
Yeah.
Look, I know you don't live in California, but they do make shelf anchors to make sure it doesn't do that.
I know. I've got one.
Somewhere.
I'll work on it, okay? I'll work on it this weekend.
I mean,
Well,
what are
we
you doing
do-
right now?
When you anchor it to the wall, move it just about a half a foot to the right on screen.
Yeah,
left as you're looking at it.
he deliberately makes it just a hair off center to piss me off.
That's right. I want it to be off center so you can see it, so it's not just behind my head.
But then
You
he
like
goes and
my,
covers up the coolest stuff anyway.
No, he actually has cool stuff. Like, he made a video of him building this Lego, like, Mario Brothers video.
Yeah, the NES and the TV.
It has the TV and everything. There's
No,
he has-
Don't bring that bullshit up here. Real men have top loader Nintendos. Thank you very much.
No, this isn't even a real Nintendo. It's
It's a Lego.
Lego.
Does it have 2 cartridges in it?
Just one.
No, you need a second one to put on top of the first one so the first game works when you play
No,
it.
you need a Lego butter knife.
Or just
Stick on
like a small paperback book will do.
Well, why would you do that? You have other carts, so all you have to do is push it all the way down, stick the second cart in halfway, and then you don't freeze up.
No, Marsupial, show him the TV. It comes with a TV.
The TV actually moves.
It's
That
actually
screen on it.
pretty
It's-
dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, here's the
Show
TV.
him
came
how it
with.
works. Make it work. Make it because it actually moves. Show him how
Yeah,
it works.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm working on it. It has a little crank on the side.
Hold it with your right hand and turn it with thank you.
Gets a little stuck sometimes. Move. Move.
Okay, his TV doesn't seem so cool.
Anyway,
I mean, it's still cooler than a flat image that just stays there.
Hey, guys, I think we've discovered the one of the 4 people who still shop at GameStop.
here we go.
Oh, GameStop.
Oh, he does. He actually had a saga like last year on his channel of him trying to find a Switch like every single GameStop in his like county.
Listen, I'm
Well,
in the county that GameStop's headquarters are in, and I fucking hate it.
I refuse to stop buying physical games for a long
I
time.
refuse to stop buying GameStop stock.
But I where's that at right now, by the way?
Oh, let me check. I'm not gonna lie. Most of my money's in AMC.
But I have my son has a PS4 and I have a PS4, right? And I realized, wait a minute, I can buy a game and we can both play it if I make his PlayStation my master. And so I stopped buying physical games because of that. Because I can buy it and my son can play the same game, and I only pay for it once. And I'm like,
currently
okay.
at 176.91.
Dude, if you'd have bought that when it was Jesus.
Right.
But I would have sold it when it hit like 450. I'd have been like, all right, okay, I'm out. I'm sorry, I ain't holding this line.
Would have.
Dude, I ain't holding this line for you fuckers. Sorry.
And surprisingly, AMC it's still at 38.46.
Man, they topped out around 302. GameStop.
Well, they're starting to pull them off the streaming service. Like you see, after Scarlett Johansson thumped Disney, you notice they don't put fucking theater movies up on Disney Plus anymore.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is the new movie that they have? Oh, Carnage, the Venom movie. I heard that it was because Disney bought all of the 21st century stuff, right? So I was like, oh well, shit, I don't, because I'm never going to a movie theater again, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go. I'll see if I'll pay the $20 to watch it on Disney, right? And so I went over and I pulled up my Disney Plus. I call it my Disney Plus, but it's actually my son's, and I just put it on my TV. And I go into it, and they don't have a single fucking movie that's an in-theater movie to rent. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Also,
no.
Sketchbook brought this up, and I was about to, too. Venom is not Disney, even though it is connected. It's Sony. Sony owns the Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I thought they bought all the Sony shit.
No, they don't own the Sony stuff. They work with Sony for Spider-Man in the MCU, but Sony still has the rights to Spider-Man solely.
Well, I heard
they
in one of
bought
the
it.
end credits scenes,
Yeah,
Venom is
okay,
like
hold on,
making his way into the MCU.
No. Give the spoiler alert first, because I heard that there's someone special in the end scene, and I don't know, so I can say this. But my immediate thought because I watched Angry Joe's review on Venom, my immediate thought was, well, yeah, of course it's going to be Spider-Man. Like, you can't get upset or you can't get that excited for somebody coming in the end scene and it not be Spider-Man when it comes to Venom. Now, I don't know if it's Spider-Man. That's just my guess.
Well, okay, so I wasn't even going to get specific. What I said was he's making his way into the MCU.
But I don't know whether it's Spider-Man. That's complete conjecture on my. I may be giving fake news.
I'll give you a hint. It's a cigar smoker.
don't know.
Okay, I think I've already figured out who that is just from that hint alone.
Oh yeah.
That is
Obviously,
the
it's
only
Marsupial.
because Marsupial doesn't smoke cigars.
You don't
What did
know.
I see him? What was that big brown thing I saw him sucking on one of his streams?
No comment.
So who would you guys pick when the Nickelodeon game comes out? Who's gonna be your fighter?
I'm gonna have to go and look up. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna have to go and look up Nickelodeon IPs so I can make a choice. I'm not familiar
Originally, it was going to be Powdered Toast Man, but then they announced that April O'Neil in her original design was in the game. I'm gonna have to play her.
enough. Wait, Powdered Toast Man would be Nickelodeon?
Powdered Toast,
Yeah,
yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
SpongeBob. Oh yeah, Ren and
Yeah,
Does that
Stimpy.
mean that Mr. Horse would be on this game?
No, he wasn't announced. Powdered Toast Man was actually announced in the trailer. You can also see the silhouettes for Ren and Stimpy on the cover when they did like the blacked out version, so they're
Yeah.
going to be in it as well.
Let's pretend that there's not going to be a shit ton of DLC, so Horseman
Yeah.
probably will
He
show
could
up.
be, yeah.
Oh, I see Powdered Toast Man right here. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's amazing.
And they'll probably give good DLC, unlike the shit DLC that Smash has been pumping out.
Oh, you're talking about triggering Smash fans. You know what the leak is for what might be the last DLC? Is Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
I like when they decided to put the Chompawomp out there, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Or not the Chompawomp, the
Piranha plant.
Piranha
Hakuna
yeah,
flower.
piranha plant. Dude, Homemade Ramen was so fucking mad because
that
they
was
were
great.
like, real big announcement coming on a new character, and everybody's like, oh, it's gonna be from the Mario world, and everybody's like, oh yeah, and then it's the fucking plant.
Well, I don't think people
Oh my
outside of
God,
Japan.
they got the Crimson Chin on this thing, protector of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Crimson Chin's cool. But like, I don't think people
They have,
outside of
right?
Japan realize how popular Piranha Plant is in Japan.
That's weird.
Yeah,
So
it's
weird.
like a really beloved character.
They don't
Well,
Yeah,
it made
but-
money in Japan because everybody hated it here.
We got it for free. If you bought the game within like the first 2 months, they gave it to you for free. It was like a bonus.
Oh, was that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a Switch. I'm not gay.
Dude, Marsupial, are you looking up the characters right now by any chance?
On Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do they have Ren and Stimpy up there?
Although the Switch
I
release,
don't think so.
No, they're not officially announced yet, but you can see their silhouettes clearly on the cover of the image.
They
that
don't
put
have
out.
George Liquor, American.
Nope. They do have Cat Dog and Reptar.
Gotta have.
They have Nigel Thornberry.
Yep.
That's another property. I never understood why it was popular. It was that real monsters. That was garbage.
What?
I want them to
Take
put
that
the Angry Beavers in there as like an Ice Climbers character. That would be fun to play.
I want the hot blonde chick from Hey Dude. She on there?
No, I don't think so.
From Hey Arnold?
What about the lunch the food guy from You Can't Do That on Television? Is he in there?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking about Nickelodeon shit I watched. I don't know about all this new shit.
Yeah, well, it's going to also be limited to strictly cartoon characters.
Barf is his name. If they
Oh.
listen, if they put Barf from You Can't Do That on Television, I will go buy a Switch and buy that game and play it with you guys.
You can get it on PC. It's not going to be Switch exclusive.
Oh, well
Yeah,
that's
it's on
weird.
Steam.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get it on Steam, actually.
All right, I gotta head out, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
And next time, don't interrupt everybody like you did this whole time. Jeez.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah, this is
Goodbye, Dario.
this turned into the Semper Show.
Hey, it was a fun
Everything
time.
I go on turns into it's.
Will there be...
I have
I
a-
heard there's crossplay. Like, I heard, like, Switch and PC people will be able to play with each other and stuff.
I mean, I don't see how you can have an online game that doesn't have crossplay at this point.
Yeah. It's also going to have rollback netcode, so it's going to have better internet than Smash. Like, better connection and stuff. Man, what was the other thing? Oh, and it's going to have wave dashing, so it's going to be back to, like, Melee days. Like, this is going to be, like, a legit fighting game.
What's gonna be a legit fighting game?
The Nick All-Star Brawl.
The what?
The Nick
Nickelodeon
game.
All Star Brawl. That's what
Oh.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we kind of left that topic already.
No, we're still on it.
Listen, guys, he's got a perp to catch, and he's trying to find it. So he's waiting for him. So he can't pay attention to this all the time.
Do you want me to show the April O'Neil?
No.
I'm sorry. I already
Real
started
trailer
thinking.
again?
I'm sorry.
Donatello, I think. Was it Donatello? I think he was the one that they... Or is it Leo? I'm trying to remember. I think
Leonardo's in
was
it.
Leonardo.
Leonardo and Michelangelo, I think, are both. But they gotta add the other two, right?
I hear
Yeah,
that
probably.
Michelangelo is a party dude.
Indeed.
And they just recently announced that Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra from that horrible follow-up show are going to be in it too. And
Mhm.
Korra's basically
You don't
just
like
going to be a...
You don't like the
fighter.
woke airbender?
No, not at all.
The gender bender.
All right. What is this world coming to when you don't like buck 10 chicks kicking the shit out of 300-pound guys? Come on.
I'll be honest though, I never believed that the star of the show was able to beat up 300-pound guys either.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
there is that too.
Well, so it's a show with magic, right? They're using magic powers, basically. They're element bending. So there's a certain like suspension.
Wait a
of
minute.
disbelief that
Is
you
your
can
point that this is not a real life
Yeah.
person?
My problem is that I just, even from the first episode, before it even started getting like really woke or whatever, I just fucking hated the main character. And there was nothing about the plot of the show that could really sink me in. I'm like, I'm done with this. Will the cabbage guy be in the game? Ooh, that's a good question.
Cabbage guy.
Yeah, it's from
I would
Avatar.
I would actually buy a game that had
Like
all of the Ren and
cabbages.
Stimpy characters in it.
What
I
about the
don't
my
want to see
leg
any more
guy?
characters coming out unless it's like just more DLC from like Ren and Stimpy.
I want the,
You know
the
what?
my leg guy from SpongeBob.
I'll tell you what. I would consider getting this game and really letting you guys kick my ass because I suck at side scroll fighters. If Log was in it, I would play with Log.
Just Log. Yeah,
Yes.
everybody loves Log.
It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Yeah.
There's no Muddy
Log.
Mud Skipper.
It's better than bad, it's good.
There's no George Liquor. There's not even Cigarettes the Cat.
Well, Cigarettes the Cat is.
They're not
Yeah.
they're never gonna put Cigarettes a Cat in there. They do not like putting cigarette anything in. Dude, you realize they couldn't make Ren and Stimpy now, right? Like everybody would
course.
flip their shit.
They couldn't make Ren and Stimpy back then. It got like banned multiple times.
Yeah, my parents hated that show.
My parents
loved it.
introduced me to that show, and then
Yeah.
they fucking regretted it because I fell in love.
No,
You know,
me and my
we-
dad used to watch it together.
I wore a shirt with Bart Simpson on it with a skateboard when I was in I think it was like 4th, 5th grade. The Simpsons had just come out and they had a shirt with Bart Simpson holding his skateboard at his foot like he had just kicked it up into his hand, and it said underachiever on the bottom of it. And they made us turn those shirts inside out, and we couldn't wear them to school because the Simpsons were so
Shame.
awful.
That's a
So
shame.
they did announce Ren and Stimpy as a
Oh, did they?
single character. Yeah,
Oh, so they're gonna be like an Ice Climbers. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
The only
uh,
t-shirt
I don't like
in
that.
trouble at school for wearing was a T-shirt that had a Stone Cold Steve Austin skull on the front, and on the back it said 100% whoop ass.
You know what'd be,
I got
you know
sent
what'd be
home.
cool? So clearly the people who make this game are a fan of Melee. Like they're adding a lot of stuff from like Smash Melee into this. So it'd be really cool if Ren and Stimpy was intentionally given the ability to wobble people.
Listen, Melee was the worst version of Super Smash Bros.
Listen, what? You don't
You
like
hear
being
that,
grabbed?
homemade ramen? Melee was the worst of all of them with your stupid fucking GameCube.
Like, you don't like being grabbed by ice climbers at 30% and then just standing there for 12 seconds as they beat on you and throw you off the edge and there's nothing you can do about it? Come on, that's great.
I used to kick his ass in Melee.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't beat him if I wanted to, so I just refuse to play him now. He does because he has all fucking day to play games now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ah. But man, when he was 9 years old, I kicked the shit out of him with Ganon, and he could not beat me.
Yo, Ganon's fun as fuck to play too.
And now he's like now he could whip me in a fucking millisecond if I played him now, but I refuse to play him because the last time we played, I kicked his ass with Ganon, and I'm never playing him again.
Oh, you gotta go out on top, yeah.
Yeah, I'm retired, is what I keep telling him. I'm retired, dude.
I need your opinion on something. I got a 9-year-old nephew named Israel. I call him Izzy, and he's an absolute shit when it comes to playing video games. Right? He throws fits, he cries, all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
my 11-year-old does that.
Now, is it best practice to really humiliate him in a
Best
game
practice.
and then just like rub it in as much as you possibly can? Or is it better, I guess,
Well,
to change his attitude to like be a little bit more diplomatic about it?
Yeah, no, you're not going to change his attitude with beating his ass.
Yeah.
It really depends. Like homemade
'Cause I
ramen was.
care about the kid, right? I don't want him to be like a shit.
Well, no, of course. Well, homemade ramen was always a shit talker, right? Which I was proud of. And so he'd look at me and he'd go, "Come on, play me. I'll kick your ass at this." Well, he didn't say ass then, but he was like, "Come on, play me. I'll beat you. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I would massacre his ass and I would beat him silly. But my 11-year-old gets angry. Like he break controllers angry. And so I tell him, I'm like, "Dude, I swear to God, if you yell at somebody like that online again," I said, "I'm taking your PlayStation away." So
Yeah.
because for him it's serious. With homemade ramen, it was just he was just
No, this
talking
kid
shit.
is a he's one of those controller throwers. You know what I mean?
Yep. Nope.
I'm
You
like,
just
I don't know,
gotta.
'cause I'm gonna play you Mortal Kombat, right? We'll play Mortal Kombat. Of course, I don't play video games no more. So I go to his parents' house and my in-laws, and I'll play him a few games. As soon as I get the hang of it, I start whooping his ass all over the floor, and then he starts crying and throwing shit. But then I have this really strong urge to really rub it in,
Well, no, you definitely give them, but you got to do it. You got to do it low key. You got to go, "Hey, I forget who won that game. Who won that?
So
I won it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry." What you do? Okay, so it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is corrective, then you can't do this. But if your goal is to just fuck with them, then what you do is you don't beat them mercilessly. You stay 1 kill ahead of them. And then you let them catch up, and then you go, and then they get all cocky, and they're like, "Yeah, what's up? I'm coming after you." And you go, "Oh, are you?" Boom! Because I'm more of a first-person shooter guy.
Well, the thing is, also,
headshot.
there's this game. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I know you heard of the originator game. It was called Plants vs Zombies, right?
Yep.
They made a game where it's like a 3D first-person shooter almost.
it's like
Plants
TF2,
vs. Zombies.
but Plants versus Zombies.
Yeah, and I was playing this game with him, and by gum, I'll tell you, I could not get a hang of this game in order to beat him to save my life. It was too fast-paced, too many things going on. I got old eyes, Like I can't. I guess my brain doesn't register everything that's happening on the screen on the battlefield, and I can't win at this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really want to beat him because he's such a shit.
Well, then you're gonna have to buy it and play the shit out of him until you can beat him. You're gonna see that's the power people don't understand about kids. Is A, they're dumb, and I don't care how smart of a kid you are, you're stupid. You have no wisdom, so you can always outsmart a kid. But the second thing is you have the money, so
That's what kids don't understand about their uncles is that I got money. I can go buy this game if I felt like it and get good at it.
yes. And so what you do is you go in there like you're hustling them. You go in there and go, "Man, I've only played this with you. I'm not very good. You kicked my ass last time." And then you go in and start letting them beat you a little bit. And then you just, it's one swift move. You turn over and you go, "What's up?" And then you turn back to the screen and you just fucking obliterate them with no mercy. Like you let them think, "Oh yeah, I'm beating you, old man." And then you just take all of the training you've been doing on your game system that he never knew you bought. And you just go, "Oh, well, what if I try this?" And then just fucking annihilate him and then go, "Wow, holy crap, can you believe that even worked?"
I think the
I
best
don't
thing
even
I
ever
felt,
play
I felt
this.
super good. I felt super good because we were playing that Mortal Kombat game. And then I went back and I went on a smoke break outside, right? Went and started looking up fatalities and shit.
Yeah, you're like, "I'm just hitting buttons, dude. I don't even know what I'm doing." And
Who
then
are
you're
you
like,
playing?
I was like, so you like this game? Is this a game you like or what?
Dude, I'm just hitting triangle. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. And you do the most complicated fucking end kill there is, and you're like, "I don't even know how I did that."
He's like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "I think you hit all 4 top buttons." I'm like,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I just pressed a bunch of buttons. I don't know what happened. Did I win? And that's when you really start fucking with them hardcore, because you just look at them and go, "Wait, did I win? Did I won? No, you won. Oh, I won that.
Well, it's like
Wow.
there's this like really famous Smash story from like a pro player back in the Melee days, and I think I want to say it was actually Hungrybox, but he was playing the game and he ordered a pizza, and the pizza guy comes up, and the pizza guy sees that they're playing Smash, and he's like, "Hey, if I'll tip you extra if you beat me at the game, but if I win, you have to pay for my pizza, right?" And he was making it look like it was pretty bad, so they start playing against each other, and he lets him basically take the first 3 of the 4 stocks on him, just like straight in a row. And then on the last stock, he just decides, okay, now I'm gonna win, and he just takes all 4 of his stocks without even trying.
Yeah,
That's kind of like
that's
the
how
attitude you gotta
it.
have. Yeah.
Well, because what happens, and especially it works really well with kids, what happens is they start to get cocky. And so they start to decide that they want to start fucking around. And they're like, oh,
dude,
okay, this person's
like
easy.
half a
I'm just going to
round
run
for a kid
around
to
here
get
and do
cocky.
this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you just, before they realize it, you just obliterate them. And they don't know what the hell just happened. Because I
Especially,
told...
little kids don't even know how to block.
Yeah. So Homemade Ramen decided he wanted, and he was still pretty young. He was probably like 11, 12 years old at the time. He decided he wanted to go to a Smash, like local competitive event, right?
Oh.
And he was like, no, Dad, I'm real good at it. I got real good. And I'm like, son, here's the thing. You need to go in there humble. Like, go in there. Don't talk smack to people. Just go in, because it's a win-win situation for you. If you don't talk smack and you lose, well, you weren't good anyway. But if you go in there, their expectations are going to be low. So there's a very real possibility that these people are going to see a little kid. They're going to go easy on you, and you can take a win. Well, he decided to go in there and talk all kinds of shit when he walked in, because he's a shit talker. And then he got blown the fuck out. And and he called me, and he was like, apparently, because he was kicking people's ass online and stuff like that. And he was like, well, I lost the first one, and then I lost the stop. I was like, it was probably because you were talking shit, dude. Stop talking shit when you go in. You got to go in humble, man. And then people don't expect it. You want to hit them with that overhand right that they don't see coming. Yeah. You know, you can't tell them, dude, my overhand right will fuck you up, because then they're going to be watching for your overhand right.
Yeah.
Just go in there and be like, oh, I like to play Smash with my little brother. And then they're going to be like, oh, this cute little kid's coming. And then you fuck them up.
Plus, everybody
don't go
gets
in there
cocky
talking
because
shit.
Online is a sham. It's a fucking sham. It does not prepare you for like playing in person with people. There's too much like latency and stuff. You start to pick up moves that are good with that amount of lag that just does not work in a head-to-head competition in person. And people just have horrible habits, and they think they're good, and they go to a tournament and they just get rocked by somebody who goes to these locals all the fucking time.
Yeah. Well, and he's figured out the joy of training with frame rates.
Yeah.
So he's figured it out now. Like, he would do well if he went now. But man, when he was a little kid, I used to try to get it, because he was good. I mean, he really was good. But he had all the, because he'd kick the shit out of all his friends, and he'd go online and play randos and beat the hell out of them. And I'm like, it's a different ball game when you go and you do that. He came out so bummed. He was so sad.
Oh, I got rocked my first local as an adult. Like, and it's like, it's tough competition, especially in DFW. We have like a top 50 in the world player in the Dallas area. And it's like, listen, I might do good against some other people, but if I get anywhere in the bracket, I'm going to get taken out eventually. I'm just got to be realistic with myself.
Well, my motto is, no matter how good you are at a game, there's some little Asian kid that's going to kick your ass, no matter how good you are. Some little Asian kid, and because I'm old school, because I'm an old man, some little Asian kid is eventually going to go up, throw his quarter on the screen, and he's going to whip your ass. Because I was amazing at Street Fighter 2 with Guile, and I would just fuck people up on Street Fighter 2 in the arcades, like back when Street Fighter 2
people
existed.
that are good with Guile.
Dude, I was badass. I mean, I was a cheeser before anybody knew what cheesers were.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I
like
just
people who are really, really good with Dan. He's like, "Fuck you."
I would sit back in the corner and just go, just throw my stuff, and then they'd come up and I'd fucking flash kick them, and then they'd go back and I'd just start throwing it again, and I used to beat the hell out of people in the arcades, like back when Street Fighter 2 was the latest arcade game. And then some little like 9-year-old Asian kid who could barely see over the table would come up, and he would reach up there and he would start doing this and just fuck me up with Ryu, man.
Yeah. Well, you like just all over right now. One of like the best Smash players, like top 10 in the whole world, is like a 15, 16-year-old Mexican kid that just comes right across the border to play like in locals, and then he goes back home. And he takes names off of like 20-year-olds and stuff like that. Some of the top players. It's like this fucking 16-year-old is kicking people's ass with Cloud.
Yeah, but okay, so Sketchbook, you're right. But when I was doing it, spamming didn't exist. This was in the late 80s. That nobody knew what spamming was. It was just you played and nobody could beat you.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got good at fighting games too. Like, I would go to my local grocery store, which is where they would have like the machines and stuff that were next to me. And I, as a little kid, would waste my money getting my ass handed to me by teenagers over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But eventually you do that and you start picking up on the things that they're doing, and you start to learn what's good against the stuff they're doing, and getting the ass, like your ass beaten by better players is how you get good.
Yeah. But that's anything in life. That's the other thing I do on my stream is I just talk about, you know, how to better yourself, kind of, because I've been through all kinds of shit in my life and had to heal from it, and so that's one of the things I try to get to understand, because when you preach, the number one question you get as a preacher is why do bad things happen to good people, and so I used to have this long, drawn-out explanation for it, but then I just got to the point where
you should just look them dead in the eye and be like, "They don't."
Well, what I did is I would look at them and go, because I'd say because good people need to grow too. You don't gain any experience, you don't grow, you don't better yourself when you win a game. You better yourself when you lose. Even when you go to the gym, you're ripping your muscles apart and you're letting them heal, and you're ripping them apart and you let them heal. You have to be damaged in order to improve yourself. Because that's part of the problem with this fucking stupid Generation Z is, and it's my generation's fault. It's Generation X's fault why Generation Z is the way it is. Because we looked at it and our parents didn't give a shit about us, and they didn't fucking care. Like, they didn't even know that we were alive unless they needed us to show up and be arm candy, you know? And so all Generation X did was say, oh, well, I'm never going to let my kid feel bad. I'm never going to let them experience pain like I experienced pain. And so we raised this generation of kids who never went through any adversity. They were always protected. Nobody ever told them they sucked or they were stupid or they were, you know, nobody ever did that. And so then they get in the real world and somebody on Twitter says that they're stupid and they think it's literally violence, because how dare you say something like that to me? And it's like, you're the weakest human being on the planet. And we have an entire generation of weak people because they never actually were allowed to fail. They never were actually allowed to get hurt. They never actually took a punch. So you don't know what you're made of until you lose. And so that's absolutely the best way to get better at something, is to go and just get your head stomped in.
Yeah. Completely agree. And with that, we're actually coming up to the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. Especially
thanks for having
you,
me.
Semper, for coming here. Like seeing new people on the show. You're welcome to come back pretty much any time that you feel free to. If Saturdays are good or whatever, if you just feel the urge, we are on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I definitely come back and hang with you guys. That's one of the things that Jeremy and I are trying to do is we're in our little community, if you want to call it that. I hate that phrase, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
we're in our little streamer group of streamers. And so we all know each other, and all of our subs know each other, and all that stuff.
It's a network.
And
a
so
network is probably a better term for it.
Yeah, I'm trying, and we had a long discussion about this. We're trying to find people that aren't in our sphere, and just kind of go in and hang out with them, because that's how we're gonna grow as a channel, is just going out and hanging out with people who don't know us, basically. So yeah, I'm definitely game. I mean, if you guys get a group of people together, you know, or you're talking, I mean, comics or gaming, I don't give a shit what it is. So just holler at me and I'll be more than happy to come in, and I'll tweet it out and get my subs over here and all that happy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks everybody for watching the show, whether you came live or listening to this later in the future. If you enjoy the show, please share it with somebody else who might like it. If you really enjoy the show, consider supporting through the links below at streamlabs.com/vomitorium live, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Happy 100.
Bye.
Woo!